Hello and welcome to Out of the Box on the Games Done Quick Hotfix, the show that believes that if you can watch it, you can run it. We've got an awesome lineup of games here for you this evening that I'm calling the 16-bit showcase, starting off with Sonic 3 and Knuckles, all emeralds glitched with the fantastic Super Sonic. So Sonic, when you're ready, how about you show us a run that's way past cool?
All right, sounds good. So, hello everybody, my name is Super Sonic. I am a retro speedrunner that mainly focuses on Sonic games, and we're actually playing my favorite Sonic game of all time, which is Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So this is the full game. We got the lock-on technology going on with Sonic 3 locked on to Sonic and Knuckles. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing through all 14 special stages and getting every single emerald in the run. So I also have the Sound Defense joining me on commentary, who is a current world record holder of this category. Feel free to say hello.
Hey folks, it's good to be back on the GDQ Hotfix hanging out with my bro Super Sonic. I am really excited to see this run and to see the absolute nonsense he is going to pull in these special stages. I hope none of you are ready.
I'm definitely not, but...
Oh good, me either.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a fun time when you see these special stages and how they are done. But without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and head into this in 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, so here we are just jumping off the plane here and turning into Supersonic, but right as we get onto the island here. Pow! Right in the kisser.
Ah, that's Idris Elba. How rude.
Yep, our emeralds are gone, so now we gotta go find them. And we're going to be entering the special stages, and I'll have Sound Defense talk about the special stage mechanics and such while I pretty much focus on these.
So the first thing that you are going to see in these special stages is he is going to do something that shouldn't work, but it does. You're supposed to run all around the outside of that square to turn them into rings, but he didn't do that. But they turned into rings anyway. That is the result of the blue sphere glitch, for lack of a better name, which is a glitch that was discovered and analyzed by a tasker named Jujumoy, where basically by using some very precise turns, you trick the game into thinking that the inside of a shape is actually the outside of a shape and vice versa. And so you can travel along the inside of the shape very precisely and somehow turn all of these into rings anyway. And that saves you time, it saves you turns, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I watched Supersonic practicing this in the run-up to this evening, and I was wondering how that worked. I figured it was either I didn't fully understand how the rules for that are supposed to work, or there was something going on with how and when you turn. But hey, shoutouts to Tassers.
Big shout-outs to Tassers. Jujumoy has been instrumental in making this run the awesome run that it is today.
100% agree with that. It's some pretty cool stuff to really see how they managed to optimize these special stages in general. And yeah, I tried to learn this like a few years back, and then I recently came back to it and just took the time to learn the special stages. I almost forgot to go into this one. I'm so used to running just regular glitch and just completely forgot about that.
So yeah, already another special stage. So we talked about the blue sphere glitch. Now we're going to talk about red spheres. They're red and they're scary, and they will send you out of the stage if you run into them. But it turns out it's a lot easier to avoid them than you think. Check this out. Yeah, you can just skillfully jump over and through them, and you decide what your boundaries are. The red spheres do not decide anything.
Oh, there's skill involved? No, I'm out. Thank you, though.
There is skill involved.
Yeah,
you do have to time these a little bit carefully. But it's actually easier than it looks. These red spheres have much smaller hitboxes than almost any other sphere here, so you can actually get really close to them before jumping out of the way. So it's easier than it looks, but it never stops being scary.
I'd like to think that many of us did that just kind of incidentally when we were playing the game as kids. We were like, uh-oh, I'm running the wrong way. I'm going to try to jump between, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but it's a matter of getting the timing down.
Yeah, exactly. because you can only really move left and right during the special stages, so I kind of have to know when to actually turn, because I think there's like a tiny bit of a delay when like the game kind of treats the input being pressed. So
yeah,
for the most part, it's on a grid, so it should be fine.
you can only turn at certain points. You cannot jump. Well, I guess you can jump mid-turn. It just doesn't do much for you. But yeah, there are some weird rules to how the special stages work, and it makes a lot of people say these are broken. No, you just gotta. I mean, yes, they are broken, but you also just gotta learn their intricacies.
Yeah, I feel like that's really a through line with all of the classic Sonic special stages. There's always something a little funny going on, and even honestly, even like Manias and the momentum preservation there. There's very particular ways of doing that.
This right here, pay close attention to this special stage because it's my favorite. I think it's one of Supersonic's favorites as well. And if you think this is wild, it's about to.
Yeah, you're going to see some things that, again, maybe you tried as a kid, but this is a different level of execution, to be sure.
Gonna come up right after this section.
Now it is. We'll give him some focus time.
Oops, that went a little too far.
You're okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, turned the wrong way. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So
Means you get to do it again.
Oh yeah, no problem. So now we got to find a backup ring. What are you thinking? Like launch base?
I might go Marble Garden actually. So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you can do that. There's several there that can be used. So yeah, there's the thing about special stages. As soon as you enter one ring, you can't enter it again for another try. So you just got to find another special stage ring. Thankfully, there are plenty to choose from. Unfortunately, not all of them are on the speedrun routes.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we've spent almost all of Angel Food Cake Zone just hopping in and out of these special stages. So we've barely seen any of the actual gameplay.
We're getting into food talk already, huh? All right.
Already. Like this is the Coca-Cola stage right here.
That's fair. And very on brand for 90s video games and Sonic. Well, not Sonic in particular, but really this whole era.
Yeah, like the previous special stage that I failed on, I'd like to call it the orange cream soda stage, probably. Maybe Sunkissed or Fanta, whatever. Whatever, like orange soda there is out there. Also, let me do
what's
this
your
here.
favorite orange soda?
Oh, geez, favorite orange soda? That's a much more specific question than I was expecting. I was thinking you were going to ask like...
distracted you, and he did a magic trick. Aha, that's called misdirection. He made 34 spheres disappear at once.
Very impressive. No, I was thinking you were going to ask, and that I also like to see in chat if anybody has a soda they think a special stage should be themed after.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's plenty of different color palettes that we're going to be seeing throughout this run. There is actually one pretty disgusting palette in the And Knuckles half, but we'll get there eventually. But for the most part, yeah, they're pretty tame. Like Special Stage 5, it's like a purple orange kind of stage. I like to call it the Robitussin or Dimetap stage because of the purple. And then, or it could be that, or maybe like grape and peanut butter. That could be like another thing.
All right, we've got a very SoCal answer in the chat. I had to look this one up because someone said Cactus Cooler, which is specific.
Oh yeah.
Say you're from California, you'd know.
Yes, that is true. And I do like Cactus Cooler as well.
I've never even heard of Cactus Cooler, and I lived in California.
It might be a SoCal thing, probably. I don't know if it was in NorCal.
And where is San Francisco?
NorCal.
Oh, okay. All right, and that is Angel Food Cake Zone down, and now we move on to Gyro City Zone, Zone 2, the water zone.
Yeah, we decided we didn't want to have that conversation again, so we came up with an alternate food-based name.
Yeah, Gyro City, which will upset nobody.
Right. No, that's definitely how you pronounce that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
Look, as long
the spelling is right there.
As long
too.
as we all know that it's pronounced tzatziki, then we're good. Yep.
I'm all for it.
Like the baboon from The Lion King?
Thank you for that. I didn't know what I was going to get as a result of that, but I appreciate it.
Love it. All right, we're gonna head into the next special stage here shortly. Want to go into that launcher there? Go in here.
All right, everyone, pay attention to this real quick.
No.
Oh,
Don't pay attention to that one.
no, that was unfortunate. Nobody saw that.
Thank goodness I gave myself like a 110 estimate for this.
So chat isn't arguing with each other. They're actually all arguing with us, which is what I feared would happen.
Fair enough.
But yes, don't worry. We're all familiar with the fact that it's a euro.
Thought I got all hits there. Okay, that's
There we
fine.
go.
Okay, now I gotta think of another backup.
Yeah, I'm being told the first special stage was also put on instant replay, so you can see how real quick it was.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, thanks so much, Richard. Much
The instant
appreciated.
payback from producer Richard. Thank you.
Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the normal part of the run, because the weird part of the run is about to start. Nice. So, Supersonic right now is doing a horizontal level ramp. He's getting himself stuck in the wall, and the wall tries to shoot him out. And it shoots him past the left edge of the stage,
Okay, we're good. We're good.
all the way there into the boss arena.
I thought I failed that for a second.
That's basically the gist of it. Just underflowing your X coordinate.
Okay, that's fine.
And that's Gyro City.
Perfect.
Done in 33 seconds. Very nicely done.
Oh, thank you.
Which is how much
Okay.
faster than doing it casually? Or doing it the intended way?
About a minute and a half, I think.
say
Maybe a little
Yeah,
more.
Not bad.
And off we go into Marble Ramen Zone, where I think this is where he is going to probably pick up a backup ring if he can.
Yeah.
Oh, marble ramen sounds awful on your teeth. Need to look at though.
I mean, this could be like some sort of garden salad, maybe for the grass.
Garden salad zone. Okay.
Yeah. Just imagine like a steak,
Oh, and
really
we're
nice
done.
marbling, and put that in your ramen.
Jeez.
All right, right in here.
All right, we got it this time. Let's go. Chat, we need your belief.
Oh yes, the Crystal Pepsi stage. I like this one.
Yep, Crystal Pepsi.
Also very thematically appropriate.
Someone in the chat just yells T. I don't know if they're declaring that a special stage is themed after T or if they're mad at the host of the show.
Oh yeah, no, it's the latter.
Okay. Probably should have guessed.
Yeah, no, PT knows what they're about. They're after my throat. And it's fine. I deserve it.
This special stage here, I was told by Jujumoy that this was the most difficult to route because there were so many options, because it's just so wide open. But this is what we ended up with right here.
It honestly feels like having somebody else have like given you the solution to an extremely difficult puzzle. Because even seeing a runner like Supersonic execute on this is impressive enough. But imagining the routing it must have taken to figure out that that was the optimal solution is another level.
And I'm told it was a lot of work. Remember to hold right coming out of here. Don't fall down.
Yep. Holding right.
So, on the subject of special stage glitches, I guess that the blue sphere glitch doesn't exist in Sonic 3. It was an attempt to fix another glitch in Sonic 3 that would cause the game to lag when they got a whole bunch of blue spheres. And they fixed that, but unfortunately, they added this other glitch, which is really the story of software engineering.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
Meanwhile,
There is
Supersonic.
no set of patch notes that is fully complete without including the still known not fixed bugs.
So we're just sort of glossing over Supersonic teleporting through the stage. He's doing what's called a vertical level wrap, which is where he confuses the camera and makes it wrap all the way around vertically. And while the camera is doing that, sprite objects are treated as if they don't exist, so he can move through them and use them to push himself into walls and stuff. Speaking of being in walls, check this out. Oh, man. So this is why we have a higher estimate, because this is not an easy
What a
run.
way for Eggman to win.
It does not matter how many times you do this run, it never gets easy.
Ben dashes were slightly slow on that part.
So what about this run appeals to you specifically, Supersonic? Is it the idea of like executing on these high-level glitches in addition to the special stages?
Yes, and also like I grew up with this game when I was younger, and I remember getting it when they first came out, like both on Hedgehog Day and whenever Sonic and Knuckles came out, like 6 months later, I believe, both in 1994. And I just recall that just putting those two games together and being able to experience the entire thing, it was pretty neat. And I like the addition of Knuckles, who is actually my favorite character in the series, despite being named Supersonic. So being able to play as Knuckles was really cool, and then just seeing like all the different routings that you can make with like Tails and Knuckles, like when you play as them separately.
Hold on, I'm checking twitch.tv/ oh yes, there is a twitch.tv/Super Knuckles. Sorry.
Alright, take two.
Take two. Okay, we're good in take two.
That's the position. Pleasantly Twisted is panicking in chat about re-grabbing the emerald. I don't know if that's a bit or if it's legitimate panic, but as soon as you grab an emerald and enter the special stage, it's saved to your file, even if you're reset.
Yeah, we're good. I just have to figure out a good like backup spot for the other one.
Yeah, the problem is you don't really spend any time in Popcornival Night Zone, so there
Not
aren't
very
really
much.
many rings available to you there.
Tails, what are you doing? Okay, there we go.
I would say the backup I would recommend is the one at the very start of Launch Base 1.
That's a lot of C's flying around.
Oh, yeah. Anyway,
I think what I could do is I could go into launch base, then probably reset, and then actually no,
no,
I have to beat Ice Cap 2 to do that.
yeah, you shouldn't reset. You can just get yourself squished and restart the level that way.
Oh, that works too. Okay, do that.
Speaking of someone who may or may not have had to back up this run on the main GDQ stage,
Yeah, thank goodness I have you here, because I probably wouldn't know.
I am here and I have got the Zone Zero website pulled up with maps for giant rings.
Excellent. Yeah, now we're just kind of casually moonwalking here.
Yeah, so while we were talking, Supersonic was just breaking the game even more using the wheel glitch. So he just abused the wheel feature in this level to give himself super high gravity in the direction of wherever his feet are pointed. And so that lets him walk on the wall to fight this boss in a really weird way. And we're done in under a minute. And so now he's got to be really careful to not jump, or else he's going to lose the glitch and he's going to have to play Popcornival Night 2 normally, and nobody wants that. So,
Nope.
also a high sign, bye sign.
It's just kind of peeking.
Yeah, Chigabo says, there's a ton of giant rings in Carnival Night. Yeah, about that. Not really. Not any we can use.
Hey, not how we play it.
Mhm. So now he's still got wheel glitch and he's going to use it. He is allowed to jump off that barrel because of gravity shenanigans. Ooh, very nice. And so now he is going to position himself, give himself a lot of speed, and then warp through the ceiling. And he's going to travel most of the way to the boss. If this was a normal any percent run, he could travel all the way to the boss. But because it's all emeralds, He's going to get stuck, and so he's going to have to run down into the tunnel where he's going to get hit by a bat.
Three, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I got to keep going down a little. For your position, it was more like 9. There we go.
There we go.
He's going to jump. Okay, now he's no longer in danger of soft locking the level.
All right, we're good.
Who's this guy? Have you guys seen this red guy before?
He says, "Oh no."
Oh, was he the guy from the very start of the game who we've literally never seen again before this moment?
Pretty much.
Seems right.
And that was Carnival Nights in about 2 minutes for both acts. Pretty nicely done.
Roughly, yeah.
Well done, Supersonic.
Thank you. Right. Off to hard times.
Oh yeah, everyone's favorite Ice Cream Zone. And the best, some of the best music in the game. Some of.
If you know the words, sing along. And if you do actually know the words, I'm quite impressed.
I do in fact know the words. The problem is I'm fighting off allergies at the moment, and so I would sound like a mummy if I tried to sing.
Fair.
Supersonic, you got a lot of rings there, buddy. Just saying.
Well, I am an emerald short.
Oh, that is true. So you don't really have to worry about having too many rings.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were setting up there.
Right, so... Alright, special stage number 7. This is another fun, silly one. Not terribly difficult. He will probably give you all a heart attack in a minute.
See, if this yellow were a little more towards brown, I'd say this is the peanut butter and jelly zone, but not quite.
It's the banana and jelly zone.
All right, yeah, I'd still eat it.
That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is from like sports. So like either football or basketball, you got the Lakers or the Vikings group, respectively. Got the purple and yellow in there.
So
Chad has unfortunately said mustard and jelly, and now I'm not hungry anymore.
Oh God.
Who is Richard?
We're just all making enemies of each other this evening.
Oh man, what have we done?
And right in here, there's a hidden emerald stage, if you've never seen it here. So he's going to take another whack at the third special stage.
Let's get it.
So, all memeing aside, the first 7 special stages, their color palettes are themed after the original first 7 stages in the game, which is Angel Island, Hydra City, Marble Garden, Carnival Night, Flying Battery, Ice Cap, and Launch Base. Because originally Flying Battery was between Carnival Night and Ice Cap. And if any of you can hear that, that is my cat, Bianca. Bianca, quiet down. It's quiet time.
That's better.
No, it's what? What happened? Oh no, we just barely touched the red one.
Oh no. Okay, this is not good actually.
All right, it's okay. We have backups on top of backups on top of backups.
This run can fit so many backups in it.
Slapping this lockdown cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, stuff's happening. Supersonic has decided this level sucks, and he's not going to do it anymore. So he's just skipping to the end. So he's using what is known as slope glitch to give himself the ability to continue running through air at the same slope as whatever ground he was previously standing on, and also it makes you run through walls if you do this skillfully enough. And so if we do this right, and I think we have done this right so far, he's not even going to bother fighting the boss or completing any part of this stage. He's just going to go directly to the next stage.
There we go.
Yes, and we are good. Yep, right there, that's the loading zone for Launch Base. It is loaded partway through Ice Cap 1. It is a small miracle that that trick's even possible. All right, and he's gonna back up. He's gonna go through lunch base right here and grab this backup ring.
Actually gonna do it the normal way this time.
I think this is a little safer, yeah. So what he was trying to do was a super cool trick where you can jump directly onto a red sphere, and if you do it with the correct turns beforehand, you can turn on the red sphere, jump out of it, and not take any damage. It's a very bizarre trick. It's extremely cool. Unfortunately, it's also a little dangerous, as you saw.
Yeah, but it's for the people, and you got to go for the strats for the people sometimes.
You always have to do the cool strats for the people because the people deserve it. Chat, type 1 if you deserve it.
I'm typing 1 in my mind.
All right, 6 emeralds down. So thankfully, like he won't be able to become supersonic, but he was never going to become supersonic in this run, no matter what happens, because there's actually no good place in the run where supersonic is useful.
Hey, where can I get another emerald? Do you know?
Oh yeah, there are a lot of backups. There's a backup one in Mushroom Hill. If that falls apart, we have plenty of backups in Flying Battery, Sandopolis, Lava Reef. Don't worry,
Okay.
I got a map stored right here.
Sounds good. Oh, because it's still going to treat it like a Chaos Emerald and Knuckles half until I get all 7 of them, right?
Yes, that's correct. You can still collect Chaos Emeralds in the second half of the game.
Okay, got it.
Anyway, so who's our bird friend here?
He's dead.
Oh, sorry. Goodbye, bird friend. But you served a noble
3,
purpose.
4.
Perfect. So, this is the coolest trick in the game. He is abusing the elevator and damage to get himself into the wall, and he's going to teleport himself to the Knuckles boss fight while he has slow glitch. Now he's going to fight these two in a very precise way. Nice. That timing looks really good. So he's just defeated one of the mini-bosses, and the game says, oh, you're Sonic, and you defeated a boss enemy. I guess Act 1 is over. And it brings up the Act 1 score screen. And so now you've still got this other boss enemy hanging around.
Yep, got one in the pocket. Nice.
Launch Phase 2 starts, he defeats the boss enemy. The game says, oh, you defeated a boss enemy in Act 2. I guess Act 2 is over. And so now the Act 2 score screen comes up.
And the peacock.
And it's done in 1 second. The only problem is he's nowhere near the loading zone for Mushroom Hill. But here's the thing. The save file is going to tick over to the next zone right there when the score hits 0. So he's just going to reset the game, restart, go back in, and there's Mushroom Hill. And that trick is a tiny little miracle. I love how it works. Anyway, here's this red guy. Who was this red guy? Who do we decide he was?
His name is Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes me chuckle.
I'd rather flex my muscles.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it right now. All right, so this is, in my opinion, the hardest special stage in the game. Yeah, the stuff we saw before, you know, that's just whatever. This is where the rubber hits the road. So not too bad at this moment, but in about 4 seconds, this is going to start going off the rails here. I'm going to give him a minute.
Oh.
Nope, no problem.
I'm gonna pause buffer for this.
Cool. Yep. Turn. There you go. Nice. Yeah, I do not blame you for that. That's, if you don't have your timing down precisely, you're taking a one-way trip to some town name that has red spheres. I didn't prepare this joke ahead of time.
All right, at least we got the hardest one out of the way.
Yes. Thank goodness.
Still need the orange cream soda.
Yeah, we should be fine with that one though. There's a backup here in Mushroom Hill that can be done. Yeah, it's just Mushroom Hill. We don't need to do anything to that name. It's already a food name. I have been doing some heavy speedrun science to this route to try and figure out the fastest way to get the Super Emeralds, because there is a glitch that lets you completely skip Mushroom Hill 1 and 2. And so I was doing a whole bunch of science to try and see how I could incorporate that, but my ultimate conclusion was that the fastest route was just to get all 7 Super Emeralds here in Mushroom Hill and do it legit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, actually, because it doesn't seem feasible to get the other like Super Emeralds like in the later stages. But it just seems to make sense in Mushroom Hill because, like, right as you get Hypersonic unlocked, it just like makes things a lot easier like in the later stages. Also, let me do this again. Oh god. Oh nope. Just gonna bail.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. What he's doing is just incredibly difficult to do. Someone in chat asked, why does he run backwards? It is to save like a little bit under a second of the stage. Basically, the slowest thing you can do in a special stage is make a turn because you have to stop and pivot and go, and so it is sometimes faster to go backwards so you can just instantly turn yourself around rather than having to do like a full 4-corner turn to get yourself facing a different direction. Sonic can go to Hidden Palace. I've
never seen that before, actually. That's the first time seeing that.
That's what happens when you collect your 7th Chaos Emerald in the back half of the game.
That's amazing. I legit never seen that before. I learned something new.
Everyone's learning something today.
Look at that. We're all experiencing new content, including the runner.
So now the final emerald comes out of his pocket and it takes its place. And we should still be able to get all of these emeralds still in Mushroom Hill. We've got a backup. All right, we're slacking off. What soda is this, everyone? I don't know what this is. This feels like some kind of weird Nickelodeon branded soda.
Like I can see a sports drink using these colors.
Yeah.
It is both GAC and Smud. If anyone remembers Smud.
I remember GAC.
Yeah, GAC, slime. No, so Smud does not mean anything to me. Is that a regional?
It was like they were trying to make another GAC, and it didn't really work out. I think it was like some kind of hydrophobic sand.
Gotcha.
Ooh, someone says Ecto Cooler.
Ecto Cooler's a good choice. Yeah. Oh yeah, I am looking at a package of vintage 1995 Nickelodeon Smud. I don't know what I expected. Of course, it's a Nickelodeon toy.
Oh, maybe it could be one of those. I saw Amber mention it. Mountain Dew of some sorts.
Yeah,
Livewire or something.
No,
like
Livewire is orange. You're thinking of what's the voltage one?
Oh, okay.
No, voltage is blue.
Yeah, that's not really a blue. That's more like a purplish.
Right.
And he just jumped through the ground. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal.
Yeah, totally normal. This one here, I like to call it the Aquafresh toothpaste level. You know, kind of get the teeth clean after all the other foods that we've been talking about.
Yeah, the teal is definitely giving like a Baja Blast, but the purple doesn't go along.
I guess that works too. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, this is a wacky route to this stage here. Another Jujumoy special.
Okay, and it's pretty much straightforward after this.
Yeah, it looks a lot worse than it is.
Yeah. And there we go.
You know what? Chad actually provided one correct answer for the purple soda. There is a Mountain Dew Purple Thunder. I was thinking of Pitch Black or Blackout, which is also a purple Mountain Dew.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, keep them coming, Chad. We're liking these.
There is a small optimization to that stage where you can really precisely jump on a yellow sphere, then turn and have it launch you after you turn, which is what Supersonic was doing in the stage before that, it's just really tight. I think it's frame perfect timing if you don't have a setup for it.
Yeah. I was trying to understand the timing for that, but you know, it took me quite a bit to understand it.
Yeah, it's tough.
Okay, so we're good with Mushroom Hill 1. So we still got 4 more emeralds to grab.
The
And we can get them all in Mushroom Hill
quick
2.
second for the most recent question in chat.
Go for it.
Okay, yeah, it's is there a reason to purposefully disrupt getting the rings on the 3x3 spear setup?
There is, yes. The thing is, like, while it would be fastest to get the spheres by going all around in a circle, by the time he would be done, he would be facing the wrong way to continue the route. And so it's faster to take a little bit more time to individually get the spheres and just have yourself pointed in the right direction. Because, as we mentioned before, turning is the slowest thing you can do in a special stage.
So in a sense, you're not necessarily routing for direction so much as you are routing for fewest number of turns.
Basically that, yes. Is the whole reason why we learned backward strats in the first place. Also because we're slightly mad.
You might even
So this
say
one
you're
right here,
pleasantly
what kind
twisted.
of food? Oh, yeah.
Those things
yeah,
are
what is-
basically synonyms.
What is this yellow and blue right here?
Like blueberry something, banana, I don't know.
Would you call this a blueberry pie?
Potentially.
I mean, if your pie crust is that color, it's not done cooking yet. You should put it back in.
That is a good point, yeah. But if it's like sports terms, this could be the Golden State Warriors, I think.
Good
Kinda had that
suggestion from
color
the
vibe
chat.
for it.
These are actually the colors of Kraft dinner or Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Oh, yes, it is craft dinner.
Oh, I haven't had that in years. Holy
I
cow.
want some. Dang.
Anybody got some mac and cheese in the pantry?
I was going to say, law of large numbers suggests that somebody watching the show is eating mac and cheese right now. I just don't think they brought enough for the class.
And I want to bounce off those springs. I wanted to go in here.
Down here, grab this giant ring.
Yeah, let's go with this one. Is this a disgusting one?
This is the disgusting one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The nicest thing I could come up with for this was strawberry lemonade, and even that I feel like is a real stretch.
The most perfectly disgusting color of green they could have come up with.
And with purple of all things. Or a fuchsia, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, fuchsia, I guess. In my mind, this is the Barney and Baby Bop stage.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, there we go.
Good. Get us out of here.
Yeah, thank goodness.
All right.
I don't like it either.
Now, don't forget to go for the backup ring up top.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so strawberry lemonade and strawberry limeade has some traction. We've also got an interesting suggestion. These are almost the exact colors of Squashies, a UK candy.
Ah.
Nerds Pink Lemonade. That sounds delicious and teeth-destroying.
Let's go up here.
I know, here's our backup. There are, I want to say, 13 big rings in this stage. There's so many.
Wow.
A lot. Okay, another variation of orange soda.
This is one of my favorite stages right here because it's so short.
As long as I don't mess it up. Let's see here. Now we're gonna go this way. And I'm actually gonna go around because when I was practicing earlier, I could not get that jump for the life of me. So
That is,
do that instead.
Ben in Sweden hates that jump so much. He gets mad at me when I do it. It's really precise. You have to jump much earlier than you think, and then get like close to a frame perfect jump afterwards as you can.
Yeah.
That's where you break out the piano roll.
Mm-hmm. And yes, I am also playing on original console as well. So this is the Sega Genesis 6-button controller. I'm currently on a Model 1 Genesis, which has that 16-bit high-definition graphics thing on it with the headphone jack. Now we got one more emerald to grab, thankfully. And we don't have to worry about special stages after that.
Yes.
Yeah, if you were here from the very beginning of the show, the Model 1 Genesis is actually what's on the shirt that I'm wearing right now.
Oh, that's so cool.
Had to rep.
So as Supersonic gets lost in this stage, I'm going to talk about his routing choices. So you can see that you can do the special stages for the second half in whatever order you like. He went 765.
I went a completely different direction.
That's okay. You'll find your way eventually.
Eventually.
I do 7632541. Your mileage may vary, but everyone ends with the center emerald, because as soon as you collect the last super emerald, there is going to be a small cutscene that plays, and the first thing that cutscene does is slowly pan the camera back to the center. So if you got like the farthest right emerald last, then you were going to waste about 4 seconds just waiting for that camera to pan. So for free time save, just get this emerald last. And there we go.
are done with the Sierra Mist zone. Sierra Mist, 7-Up, Sprite.
Yep. Whatever
Gatorade.
they serve in your favorite restaurant, that's what that is.
All right, here we go.
And this is where we get that flashing lights warning, the torch warning.
Flashing lights warning from here on out when we're hypersonic. Turn into him right now.
Keep wanting to see if we get the broken flickies, but I forgot that that's Tails, not Sonic.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you've never seen him, this is Hypersonic. This is the character you unlock and you get all 14 emeralds. Never been seen before or since.
Yeah, I'm hoping he'll get a comeback eventually. Definitely deserves it.
Sega seems to disavow his existence.
All right, now we can play the game normally.
Yes, now
to an extent.
We're done messing around with glitches and stuff. Now we are going to be playing the game as intended.
And it's by design.
And intended.
I can get the spin dash. There we go. Like so.
Yes, perfect. Exactly what we want to see.
So there's actually two different sprites of this. This one is like the staring into your soul sprite. The other one is, I actually have an emote of it. It's called As Intended. He's just like completely sideways. It just looks really silly.
We call this the As Intended glitch for obvious reasons.
Yes, I see the two are called As Intended and By Design. Very good.
And there's And Intended for the Knuckles variant.
Yeah, there we go. Lana and Amalthea posted the super As Intended there.
Also, there's this boss, which is
yeah, this guy.
not much to write home about, but we are setting up another slope glitch real quick. Yeah, we were completely lying. Normalcy is going to be completely gone from the rest of this run. Goodbye, best. Oh yeah, a lot of people really love the music in Flying Buttery Zone here. Personally, not my favorite, but I can see why everyone loves it. And normal gameplay continues, as you can see.
Totally normal.
Skipping his way to basically the end of the stage here. Now, this is one of the backup rings that we could have used, but instead he's going to use it to become hypersonic. And let's see.
Hey, if you'd like to keep up with all the totally normal gameplay that happens on a day-to-day basis on the GDQ Hotfix, you can join us on the official GDQ Discord to add the Hotfix Enjoyer role, where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with the staff, and more. If you'd like to get more info, use !Discord in the Twitch chat.
That's a great idea. Anyway, he just sort of skipped the laser boss. So Hypersonic's dash is like one of the fastest movements available to you, and if you do it from like a dead stop like that, standing in the right position, you can get past the laser before the camera catches up to you. And as we stated before, if an object is not on stage, it doesn't exist. Also, what on earth just happened with the sprites?
He's got after images for a bit.
Yeah, he's pulling these Dragon Ball techniques out. Not like it helped him. Anyway, time to hit the capsule, and what is happening?
I'm glad we freed the flickies from the imminent danger of those spikes. Yeah.
That's the Chokey from Matilda.
Oh no. That's a reference I didn't need in my evening.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Say hello to Sandwichopolis Zone 1 and immediately say goodbye, because we're not going to spend any time here.
Oh.
See ya.
Right to the end of the boss.
So, slopes in this game are really something worth talking about. This whole game is kind of a miracle. It's incredible that they got this physics engine working on the Genesis, but it's not without its weak points. And one of the biggest weak points is slopes. They're just a little difficult to get right, and so they're ripe for abuse and passing through and all that nonsense.
And here we have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. We're just going to wake him up, and then we're just going to wait for him to come over here. But there's really nothing else for us to do in this level. Speaking of which, WrestleMania is this weekend, if there's any wrestling fans out there. What match are you looking forward to? I would like to know.
Ooh. I heard Cena just turned heel again for the first time in like 20 years.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's a good beat going into WrestleMania. I'm here for it. I keep up with AEW a lot more regularly, but...
Oh, very cool.
Are they still trying to present Roman Reigns as a hero character?
Kind of. Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me.
I've said for a while, they should have done with Roman Reigns what they did with VGCW and have him, like, go ultimate heel, like, beat up Vince McMahon, take over the whole thing.
All right,
exactly.
They call it Roman's Reign. Like, come on, man.
We've got some stuff coming out of chat. We've got Dirty Dom getting the Intercontinental title, Roman versus CM Punk versus Seth, and Jey Uso winning the title.
Yeah, I would actually be pretty surprised if they give Dominic Mysterio the IC title. I mean, I feel like Braun Breaker has pretty much outran his course as IC champ, and they probably need some new blood for that. So I can kind of see Dominic getting it. So
Supersonic, did you just fall through the floor casually?
Oh yeah, it's totally normal, you know.
Oh, okay. Nothing I have to worry about?
Nope, not at all.
All right.
As far as this thing goes, well, since we have the fire shield, we were able to do like a slightly quicker variation of this. So essentially, we're skipping the autoscroller section of the sand rising, which saves about roughly 2 minutes or so. So it's
That was a very impressive first try loop clip, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was practicing that to get it like pauseless, really, because most of the time it is kind of easier to get that trick while you're pausing, but I was practicing it to do it without pausing, and it feels like it's a lot easier to do it that way, because a lot of the times I can't get the proper frames to line up. So
Personally, I do it with a lightning shield instead of a fire shield.
yeah, lightning shield is definitely another way to do it as well. I think the fire shield was just recently implemented. But yeah, you can pretty much go either way. The lightning shield route is actually pretty nice too. Okay, fantastic music, by the way.
Oh, I love that song.
It's beautiful.
Sonic just giving Robotnik a nice long hug. What?
156.
I can't believe this!
I hate that hedgehog.
Oh man.
All right.
Lava beef.
Delicious lava beef.
And the ground looks like diced potatoes.
If anyone here remembers Volcano Bake Meat, please type 1 into the chat. I need to know where the sickos are.
So here we got like the hot steak sauce, probably, if they even have anything like that.
Did you just casually click through the floor a second time?
Maybe.
Oh, for that one, so what you do is you just kind of jump into the corner of that sinking block, and then you can just casually clip through there.
Some of these tricks are like unusually easy to pull off. Some of them are. This stage has like one of the easiest tricks and the clear winner of the most ludicrously difficult trick, which hopefully we'll be able to see. We saw it in practice.
Hopefully I'll be able to get it here. It is really difficult as well.
We don't have to be quiet. It's not for a minute. First, he's gonna have some fun with the boss.
Yep. So we're gonna have just enough rings to turn hyper here.
Perfect.
There we go.
Hey, the pogo. And now we chill.
Just kind of stand here. We'll get 4 hits for the first one, and on the second slam, we're gonna get 2 more hits. And then there we go.
Well, hey, if you...
Oh.
Got it.
Nope.
Oh,
Okay, anyways, carry on.
Yeah, go ahead.
What was the plan there?
Try to get monitor clip, and it saves about roughly a minute or so.
It is a multiple frame perfect trick. It's very hard. Whew. Yeah, what's going on? Summer Games Done Quick, I think you said?
It's true. It's true. As a Games Done Quick, as a group full of Games Done Quick runners in here, I imagine you are excited for Summer Games Done Quick 2025. That's going to be live in Minneapolis from July 6th to the 13th. You can register up until May 26th to attend the event, and you can use !SGDQ in Twitch chat or visit gdq.gg for more info.
I'm especially excited for GDQ because it falls on my birthday week this year.
Oh, hey,
nice.
That'll be awesome. Will you be there to celebrate in person?
I will be there, yes.
Ah, sweet. I will be there too.
Yeah. So my birthday is on July 10th, for context. It'll be my 38th birthday that I'll be celebrating at GDQ.
Yeah, so if you come to SGDQ, you could meet Supersonic in person. And more importantly, you could meet me. So that
beat sound defense as well, because
more importantly, you
is the world record holder.
Give Sound Defense Supersonic's birthday present. Wait, no, don't do that.
Oh my gosh. Actually, I did not mean to lose the lightning shield there because I don't want to try. Let me see what I can do here. It has a plan.
You could do the wild
that's a good
trick
idea.
that I do and go over the ceiling.
You know, I never practiced that one, so I wouldn't know what to do.
It's all good. There's your way has less of a soft block risk. So we're gonna see the stair clip. Oh, got sub-pixeled. That is unfortunate. Right there, he did everything right. It was the game that was wrong.
At least I got the checkpoint, so not that far off.
Am I so misaligned? No, it's the pixels that are wrong.
It's always the pixels that are wrong. It's never right.
In a Sonic game, it is always the pixels that are wrong.
Even the 3D ones.
Yeah. That's what should have happened, by the way.
That is very nice. That was a stair clip into an object phase, which was made a little bit easier by the pipe that shoots him out at a high speed. So he forced himself through the unbreakable walls that block Knuckles' exit to Lava Beef. And so he gets out without having to fight the boss, and we go directly into Hidden Valley Ranch Zone.
Hidden Valley Ranch. Also, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh.
Give it your best. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And he's down.
Oh no.
All right, so I'm going to be telling a story here.
I do
So
like a
here-
good story time.
Knuckles is jumping up to the altar, playing his air guitar for Dr. Eggman to put down his giant ring pop, but he instead flies away with it. So Knuckles chases after Dr. Eggman, jumps on the magic green pop, but to no avail as Robotnik brings out the tentacles to electrocute the echidna, thus showing the skeletal anatomy in which the back of his head is shaped like a butt. The end.
These were all true things that you said.
All right. Slinky. We have one Slinky.
Two Slinkies. I think that's all I can do for now.
Yeah, we got two out of 3 Slinkies. So good luck.
Yeah, we'll take that.
All right, and just a short minute and a half later, we are into Ham Sanctuary Zone, which is another blink and you miss it stage. Yeah, these just get worse as it goes on.
I love these names for the zones, honestly. All right, Knuckles gonna jump off. We're just gonna spin dash off, and this should line us up to get the vine really quickly here.
Yeah, looks like it was all timed correctly. Yes, nicely done.
Now we're gonna grab the lightning shields,
Ooh, perfect.
and then we're just gonna pan the camera down, jump up, and now we're at the top of the stage.
Yeah, this is one of those stages that wraps infinitely vertically. There's a few of those, and they do some trickery here, where the top of the stage is actually at the bottom of the map. They just use one of those warps to make you think that you're going up when you're actually going down. So by doing the trick he just did, he despawned a death plane and was able to land at the top of the stage, which is at the bottom of the map. And he's done with the level in under a minute. Very nice. That was pretty much the perfect execution you wanted right there.
And a double one up. That's what we needed.
And we do a reset and we move on to Deviled Egg Zone. And this is the best music in the game right here. This is my personal favorite. Chat, what's your favorite song? You agree? You have good taste.
This is honestly my top favorite in the and Knuckles half. Lava Reef kind of is like a close second to that. And then on the Sonic 3 side, obviously Ice Cap. So yeah, we're just kind of clipping through the wall here. This is a mini zip, which saves about roughly 30 seconds or so. There is a graviton skip here, but it is very risky and very easy to soft lock as well. So we're not gonna be going for that, even for 7 seconds of a time save, which we don't really need in this point. But we gotta watch out to not go to the top of the ceiling there. Otherwise, the door that comes down, it can actually crush you because they have a very weird crushing mechanic that happens. And right after we exit that, we go into onion rings.
This whole run has made me hungry for some reason.
See, that's the thing with me. It's like if anybody is involved in any kind of run, whether it's me running or commentating, there will be food involved. Because I'm just a connoisseur for these things. I'm more of a hamburger connoisseur, actually, or a cheeseburger, rather. But I like all kinds of food, really.
I am what you would call a hamburger snob. Anyway, say hello to Red Eye. If you're
You
doing
need some clear eyes.
if you're doing any other category, this boss is an absolute nightmare to deal with. But if you got all the emeralds, it's pretty trivial.
We got some good choices for levels on this one in the chat.
All right. Oh yeah, some great answers here. So now we need to be really careful here not to die at the start of what? What are you doing? What did I just say?
Well, you see, it's actually intentional that I did that because it is to unload Act 1 from Act 2 because they're technically stuck together. So if you end up dying at the start of Act 2, that'll get rid of Act 1 from the memory. So I can perform a very scary level wrap that's coming up here. But first, we got to get in the wall, which I got spat out. So let's try to go back in.
They really had to put one of the hardest tricks at the very end of the run. They just had to do it.
So I'm going to try to get a spin dash here, and then there we go. Inside the wall we go.
All right, we're partway
This part is a tough part. Getting a little subpixeled here.
Yeah,
That should be good.
perfect. Nicely lined up, and so now he is. I could not explain this if I tried. He bibba and then he got into the wall and it's warping him to the boss. What's the name of this boss, by the way?
This is Uwu Boll. Don't make fun of his movies, he'll try to fight you. He's one of those directors that directed, I think it's like Blood Rain or whatever it was. He's
Blood
a very
Rain,
like
Alone in the Dark, the Postal movie. Yeah.
House of the Dead.
Yeah, there we go. So this is Uwu Boll.
Certified clangers, if you will.
Exactly.
If you ever have trouble with
Yeah.
this boss, try this strategy.
Yep, just stay upside down, just spin dash into the mini car, and it'll just shoot right up into the boss. And just, it's that easy.
Alright, how about one
let's-
more glitch for the road? What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright.
Also, banger.
So, he's got to be careful on the right side of the stage because he did some shenanigans and there's no floor on the left side of the stage, on the right side of the stage anymore. So, if he goes too far to the right, he is going to fall through the floor to his death. So, that's why he has the lightning shield to save himself. Oh gosh, you're making this so terrifying. Why do you do this?
If I didn't get a spin dash there, but that's okay. So this will be a 5-cycle fight, no problem. Make that 6 cycle.
Someone else says best track in the game. There's a lot.
Yes.
This game ends with so many bangers. So yeah, the reason he did that glitch was so he could do this one and just spin dash the Master Emerald to death.
Yeah, we're just casually standing in the air right now.
How are you doing that? Blasted hedgehog.
You don't know that this. I'll
Alright,
just run away and there we go.
and this is where we would call time,
But it's not.
if not for the Food Stay Zone at the very end. The thing you only see if you complete the game with Supersonic or Hypersonic.
Yep, and you know, we got some floating Cocoa Pebbles here.
So right now, this is the ring collecting phase of this stage. He is going to be doing his best to collect about a certain number of rings. I'd say that's pretty good right there.
On the bottom here.
So if this is something I did not learn until I started speedrunning this game, if you are hypersonic, you can dash forward in this zone and go a little bit faster. Speed things up. And whenever I bring that up, half the chat says, you didn't know that? The other half chat says, I didn't know that. So it's a divisive topic.
All right, here we go with the fights.
Let's see, he's got to take these missiles and have them run into Robotnik's face.
Yeah. Kind of notice I'm kind of moving left and right a little bit just to kind of guide the missiles to the face.
Yep. Very nice.
2 more.
One
Oops.
more.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. So phase 1 down. So for everyone who is loving the music at the end of this game, just saying, you could hear this music if you picked up PK64randomizer.com. Random plug. Had to do it.
PK64randomizer.com.
.com.
In my Sonic run? It's more likely than you'd think.
So how many hits is that? 4 hits?
I lost count.
I think that is hit number 5. The last one.
Hit.
From there.
Time's coming up on fade out here, and time.
Nice. Very well done. What was our time?
I'm waiting a few more seconds for it. I think it's like a 102.14. 102.13.
Okay.
That is
Yeah, that's not bad actually, all things considered.
getting this run even close to an hour is an amazing feat. So this was really impressively done.
Yeah,
Especially
thank you.
still bringing it in at that pace with the backups and the backups. Like a great show of both execution and of game knowledge.
Yeah, backups within backups. So, but yeah, that is the end of the run there. That is Sonic 3 and Knuckles, all emeralds with Sonic. And we're just going to have the floating emerald, the Master Emerald, make the floating island go up. That's what I meant to say. Because English is hard. But I do want to take this opportunity to thank Sound Defense for being here. Again, he is the world record holder of this category, so thank you so much for being here and providing your knowledge for the special stages.
Sure. For having me.
And yeah, of course. And Tia, thank you so much for allowing me to showcase my favorite video game of all time. And, you know, it's always a joy to be able to run Sonic 3 and Knuckles in any kind of capacity, but I mostly run the regular glitch version, but it's been a treat to run all our modes as well. So I will be continuing to play this game for a good while because I've been kind of getting the grasp of the special stages a little more. And of course, you know, if you want to follow me, you can check me out at Supersonic_ on Twitch. I usually stream Monday through Friday during the afternoon at 12 p.m. Pacific time. Sometimes I will stream at nighttime as well, like around 8 p.m. Pacific time. So pretty much catch me on either of those times. I mostly do Sonic speedruns. I also do like Mario speedruns. We're kind of diving into other things as well. Like we do Casual Wednesdays on Wednesdays. And then we have like various other games that we do as well. As far as shout outs go, I do want to give a huge shout out to the Classic Sonic community for like pretty much breaking this game apart like it's nothing. Also want to give a shout out to the Shrine of Chaos, which is my community, the Club 601 and the Arcade. And I do want to give a special shout out to Linnea, who's in chat right now. She actually watched me practice this earlier and trying to calm me down and everything with my nerves. So huge thank you for Lana for being there for me. And yeah, thank you to the viewers for watching as well. So I know we got some other cool runs up on the schedule, so I'll give it back to you, Atitri.
I appreciate it. And yeah, thank you very much to both of you for being here. I'm just very glad to be able to make this happen. And thank you for being right on board with it. Speaking of on board, we've got more awesome runs on board for you this evening. So stick around. We're going to take a quick break, but feel free to take the time to hydrate and get a little something to eat. Anything that you might have forgotten to do while you were glued to your screen over the last hour and change. And we'll be right back. Which is to say hello and welcome back to Out of the Box on the Games Done Quick Hotfix. In case you couldn't tell, coming up next is Kirby. That's right, our 16-bit showcase rolls on with a fantastic run of Kirby Super Star Any Percent by Glitch Aston. Aston, show them what a superstar you can be.
Okay, so hello, my name is Glitch Aston. This is Kirby Super Star, a very fun Kirby game and one of my favorites in general. This is my friend Arrow, who will probably be molding as I fail this game badly.
I will not be molding.
Yes, he will.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, I'm Arrow. I'm formerly Nippo. I run KSS, and I'll be watching and commentating Aston's run. And Aston will do good.
All right. I think without further ado, let's just get this run started. Gonna reset here. I'm gonna delete file 3 because I always do file 3. And let's just get this run started. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Yeah.
All right. So first thing I'm going to explain. In 2 rooms from now, or 3 rooms from now, Aston is going to do a mix. If you're familiar with Kirby games, I'm going to give the whole spiel about mixing. Basically, if you inhale 2 ability-bearing enemies, a roulette will start. With every ability appearing in the roulette, each ability appearing it'll appear for 4 frames each. So Aston has to hit a 4-frame window to get wheel. So we're gonna see him set it up.
Way off.
All right, that's good. That's why they call you Second Try Mix Aston or whatever your name is.
The name's too long. We can't do that reference here.
It's okay. This mix is really hard.
There we go.
There it is.
There we go.
I am Second Try Mix.
They do call you the Second Try Mixer.
Mix Aston. Jeez.
Mix Aston.
It has a good ring to it. It's just not easy to say.
For anybody that gets that reference, kudos.
We're going to summon Wheelie Helper. So Wheelie Helper gives Kirby the fastest horizontal base speed. It's only going to appear in Great Cave, though, because Jet is going to be our preferred ability in the future games. But for now, we're going to roll with Wheelie. We're also going to grab Hammer, because Hammer deals a lot of damage for the upcoming bosses in G-Co, which is just the abbreviation of Great Cave Offensive. Coming up, we're going to see Fatty Whale. And we're going to do a cool attack with Wheelie where we like kind of shred through Fatty Whale's body. assuming we get the good pattern.
Ooh, we got the good
We did
pattern.
get the good pattern. Look at that.
I failed immediately. Just good job, me.
It's okay. Well, you know what? You got like the first initial hit, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know, you can do the cool shred. Look. Oh.
I'm failing literally everything. Wheelie's not sitting on the floor.
It's okay. It's okay. Just take your time. Look at that.
Okay, let me just do this on 4. I don't think I've ever seen a wheel do that. That's actually...
No, it's okay. He's gonna do the same thing.
Okay, good.
Look at that. Okay, boom. Very well done. All right. Next up, we have this fun minecart section that we're gonna just skip because wheelie is faster. That's about it.
Yeah, it's fine.
part's kind of
Literally just
self-explanatory.
slot the wheel in on the tracks. You're making your slot car racing. It's faster. I get it.
Exactly.
Wheelie's health is actually making me kind of nervous right now. I'll be real.
It's like you're gonna get a match tomato soon.
Yeah, I just need to be careful.
You're also gonna get food.
Okay, there we go.
You got a jelly donut.
My favorite.
Boy, thank you. I was gonna do it if you hadn't. Shout outs to 4Kids.
Good.
Coming up is a Battle Windows boss fight, which is the first of 2 RNG boss fight. Pretty notorious.
Yep. And if
In
you're,
this game.
if you're me, you always get bad RNG.
We'll see.
I swear, if I get good RNG on this one
You're
run.
gonna get it this time.
No, I'm watching for it.
It's marathon low.
Okay, here we go.
Never mind. You didn't get it. Yeah, so Battle Windows has a chance of attacking first. So you saw there that puppet attacked first that turn, so obviously that wastes time. Preferably you want to be the first to attack.
Okay.
So yeah, Aston got a 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
So 2 or 3 isn't that bad.
For a marathon run, we'll take it. We gotta wait for all this text to scroll. This is just a bunch of stats that are useless if you've played the game in English. And I guess I'll explain why we're playing in Japanese. Pretty basic. It's just text scrolling is faster in Japanese because there's less characters. So the only instances of text scrolling are going to be Battle Windows and Revenge of Mennonite dialogue, which surprisingly saves a good chunk of time. It saves around like 30 seconds throughout the entire run. So playing on Japanese is pretty good with saving time.
We do love saving that time.
It's free 30 seconds. Why would you miss out on that?
Yeah, why would you... why would you play...
Why would you play on the English version of NSO?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I totally wasn't going to play the American version just to troll everyone here.
Here we got this fun spring room where if you land on these springs, you'll go flying up in the air.
Like that.
Yeah, like that.
Sometimes...
Thankfully, you weren't the one to fly up. It was just Wheelie that time.
Yeah, sometimes going down those platforms can be a real bit of a pain with Wheelie.
Here we got Wham Bam. Some people are alarmed by this boss fight. It's pretty scary. Yeah, we just kind of shred through the hands with Wheelie like this.
Okay, good. And you want
It's
to kill...
pretty difficult to time that.
Yeah, you want to kill before the 4th hand appears because if you don't, then
yeah.
it has a really long attack.
Yeah, it's basically like a cutscene. Alright, well that's basically the end of Great Cave. Aston just has to get up 2 elevators. I hope you can do it.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's pretty hard. This part's pretty difficult.
We've made 0 whole gold. Wow, what a successful adventure.
I know, yeah.
There's like a special like cutscene that plays where you get like 0 gold too, but we're gonna skip it unfortunately. That Great Cave's done.
All right, so that's one game done. I should also explain what games we have to play. I forgot to touch up on that.
Yeah.
So we don't need to play every sub-game. It's not like Kirby Super Star Ultra, if you're familiar with that game. You can skip Spring Breeze and Gourmet Race, so you only need to play Great Cave, Dynablade, Mennonite, and Milky Way Wishes. Those are the 4 you have to play. We're going to do another mix here for Jet.
I got it.
Not Wheel.
Funny how that works. I get Jet and GCO and I got Wheel here.
You're getting them mixed up.
There we go.
There we go. They do call you the
Time every
That's why they call me second try.
All right, so we're getting Jet here because there are a lot of vertical movement sections in Dynablade, which Wheelie has difficulty with, so it ends up being faster overall to just use Jet. Jet is like the second fastest in terms of horizontal movement, so it's preferable in this subgame. Coming up, Aston is also going to do a mini boss quick kill, which we did do in. No, we didn't. No, we did do it in Chica, so I forgot to explain this too. Basically, if you do like I call it like high jump state.
Right.
When you missed it, lol. If you go in high jump state underneath a mini boss, you instantly kill it, and no one still understands if it's a bug or an intended mechanic. I don't know either. I should really figure that out.
I was about to ask, it's like, does it set a is the damage to do with like the vector of Kirby's movement and that sets it in an unexpected direction or something? But
for how much I know about this game, I should know that, but I don't, and I should really look into that.
We just like to say that random weird things that happen in this game is just a feature.
Yeah, this game is made with duct tape and love, so
that's fair.
Aston's gonna do a clip into the wall. We call this any partner clip. Because originally you weren't able to clip through this wall with any partner, but it was discovered around like 2018 or 19 that you can do it with Jet Partner. So we're gonna do that. So in order to clip through the wall there, you have to have Kirby's hitbox facing away from the wall, which is why Aston changes direction while moving right. So that's how you get through the wall with Jet Partner. And that's the only wall clip in any percent, surprisingly.
Yeah, there's actually a few more in 100%, but it's in other game modes and different areas as well.
Mm-hmm. Aston's also doing a mini boss skip here. You can jump over the, I don't know if it's like a hitbox, like an area that the game has, where if you jump over the screen that a mini boss would spawn, you just completely skip it. So we skipped a bonkers mini boss there, and we're going to do a few more throughout Dynablade. Here's Coco Cave. Some people love this level and some people hate it. Aston is hating it right now.
I'm hating it right now.
I would assume, based on what just happened. This stage is pretty straightforward. It just move forward. There is a lot of interesting tech you can do here at like a super duper high level with Jet. Which probably isn't worth doing in a marathon. It's probably saving like 0.2, so who cares?
It's above my skill ceiling.
Trying to think of what else to say. I feel like this stage is so straightforward. Like I don't know what else to touch up on here.
Yeah, this is one of the more straightforward stages. We haven't talked about how the power losing stuff is like 1 in 8.
Oh yes, you're so right, because you did lose your power in the beginning of the stage. So losing your ability in this game is I think it's a 1 in 8. I should really fact check this. Don't take my word for it. I just know it randomly happens. If you get hit by an enemy, you have a chance of losing your ability. I don't know if you hit a Gordo, but Gordos do have a higher chance of losing your ability. So that's another thing. Like there are some enemies that like give you a higher chance of that happening. So preferably you want to just avoid everything, because the more things you hit, the more likely you will lose your ability. So, and Aston clearly did not follow my instructions.
I say as I proceed.
By like 5 different things there.
It's fine. I didn't lose my ability yet.
I was going to say, and yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the left path there. There's a faster path taking the right if you do a full trick.
Yeah, Aston's going for candy strats. Which is fine. I respect it.
I can hear you silently molding.
Look, I'm just saying, if I ran a game that had candy strats in them, I'd be doing the candy strats. I get a sweet tooth, something fierce.
I mean, hey, listen, if you were to take this game right out of the box and start running it, you probably aren't going for the hard strats anyway, so
True.
This is the real experience.
I'm giving the true experience right here.
Yeah, this is the true experience. And to be fair, actually, I'll say this after you do this, because this is hard. We're going to skip 3 mini-bosses. Good luck. Good job.
Nice.
That's a lot trickier than it seems.
Yeah, I stayed quiet there because you have the time jet strings.
Sure.
So as I was saying, I feel like that Aston demonstrating the less, like the easier strats. I mean, is probably better for like people watching because it might feel like it's an easier game to get into. I feel like when you watch high level players playing this game, it feels like you're watching high level melee footage where you're like, I don't know how anyone's doing any of this. So. All right, Aston's gonna grab the stars that Dynablade produces.
Oh, I didn't get the last one.
It's okay. You got the first one. That's all that really matters. Yeah. And that destroys Dynablade. And then we're also gonna reset the game because once Dynablade, the instant Dynablade dies, the game saves and says, "Hey, you beat Dynablade." So we're just gonna reset the game, so we don't have to watch that annoying cutscene.
And what's really funny about that is that for a while we actually didn't have like resets for.
Oh, but yeah, okay, that's a whole other can of worms you have to get into. If we want to talk about that, it's gonna take like a whole 5 minutes to talk about that rule.
We're just gonna do the KSS history right here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, should I put on the summoning salt music?
We're doing another mix.
Nice.
That's an interesting way to do that setup. I
took it safe because I wasn't gonna chance it.
Right. Basically the TLDR is that the rule set for this game used to be really stupid, and so the community said, let's get rid of this rule set, and then we got rid of it. So
Nice.
that's basically it. All right, here we have a cutscene. So we're gonna just sit in this corner. Kirby will look at this wall and contemplate his life choices while Heavy Lobster tries to kill him, but fails to do so. And then Kirby gets launched into the ocean.
Okay, I really hope something dumb does not happen here.
It's okay, you got this. Oh, that was pretty cool. I don't go for that. Oh, the bird!
Okay, I've had that bird knock my building in the water before, and it sucks.
Oh yeah, so the reason why we're kind of a little scared here is because this part of the run is really hard to get Jet back in, and Jet is pretty crucial, so I don't want to jinx it, but you're doing pretty good.
Yeah,
you're doing pretty good.
I might take some part save just to be sure.
Yeah, and also that bird that Aston just hit, like, if you pop your ability with that bird, you're pretty much guaranteed losing your ability because it lands in the water, and then you can't swallow it, so that's why I was kind of like, Aston, don't throw.
Right, literally the worst place to have gotten hit.
Don't do it, Aston.
Don't.
Are you gonna go for the cool strat here?
Okay, fine. Let me do it.
Yeah, you should do it.
In the wrong place.
If you don't know how to do it.
There we go.
Oh yeah, Kirby's in the wall. Oh geez.
Oh, I didn't do for the full one.
It's okay. That guy's chasing you.
A little bit.
Be careful. The way we snapped Kirby in the wall is basically if you hover with Jet off screen, it snaps you back into bounds. So Aston just kind of went off screen and then hovered, so it put Kirby in the wall. He basically like clipped into the ground, kind of.
Okay, good.
Here we're gonna kick some trees.
Wispy for some reason likes to spawn an apple on top of me there.
I mean, these aren't tea trees, so it's not like we're close family or anything, but I'm still obliged to object to what's happening.
I'm sorry. I should have told you to like look away right there. Actually, you could just censor that part.
There you go.
All right. Prom K3 is also pretty straightforward, I would say. We are gonna do a double bonkers fight, which kind of sucks because like we can't kill two bonkers with one jump, so we're gonna like just get rid of this first one and then kind of just beat up this other one. That was interesting.
Okay.
That's what I mean by this game just being an absolute joy in terms of the code.
I was ready to say, like, yeah, that was a really strong fight all the way through. And, like, it still was.
Yeah.
It's just we also got some...
except for Aston backwards grabbing a star that just spawned. Yep. This game decides.
This game could be a treat some days.
Yeah, you can backwards grab things. Like, you know, with Jet, like we saw this in Dynablade, how like Aston grabbed a star and like threw it at Dynablade. You can do the same thing. Like, so he had a full charge there, so he like flew up in the air and like threw it down. What he did there was use like a not full charge attack. Like you just kind of grab it and throw it on the ground. But for some reason, if you're positioned a certain way, you end up throwing it backwards for some reason. Like the game is just like, yeah, you're gonna go that way actually, and not the intended way. So that's what happened there. And also, it like happened when the star just spawned in, so it was like super tiny, and I'm like, why? We're gonna skip some more mini bosses. Good job.
Nice. And I float at the end there because we were so high up above the screen that we just...
Yeah, and that snaps you back. Yeah, we're gonna go through this elevator room. Jet boosting there is faster because, you know, like, instead of having to wait for the elevator to go up, you just fly up. We're gonna do a cool double mini boss here, like the bonkers fight. We can't kill both at the same time, so we're gonna just hop in here, kill this guy, then use his corpse to kill the other guy. Except Aston misses, so we're not gonna kill it with the corpse. But it's okay.
I need to be careful. I'm not careful.
Be careful!
Okay, we
you know the backup?
cannot call that one a commentator curse. Nope.
Do you know the backup?
No, I'm just gonna use Ninja.
Yeah. Just do that, yeah. You know the good attack for Ninja? Yeah, okay, well. Okay, good, you know what you're doing.
And
oh my gosh.
Lost it again.
This is a disaster.
So this is why you don't want to lose Jet.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? This is what I signed up for.
Yeah, you basically just signed up for this. I'm gonna take it safe because I do not trust anything right now.
Wow, you took it really safe there.
I'm taking it so safe.
Oh my
All good. One more time from the top. You got your sea legs on. Your tabby are securely fastened.
Don't worry, if you game over, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah,
game overs don't matter in this game. Yeah, if you game over, I think I don't even think it resets your score.
No, it barely does anything. I would like to get my.
Oh my god, you're getting chain grabbed.
Let's be honest. What makes a speedrun more accessible than continues not mattering? You could literally just keep pressing on.
I can't believe chain grabs exist in this game. I've never seen that happen before.
I'm teaching you so much.
That's actually ridiculous.
I'm teaching you so much about this game tonight.
Ridiculous. Okay, choose your ability.
This is
it's a gong show. I'm going to use my favorite ability.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Let's go for you. I probably would have used fire, but
fire is actually better. But I'm at this point, I don't care. I say as I lose my ability.
That's okay. You got this.
Watch as the small pink child destroys a giant laser cannon with a yo-yo.
I would like to actually.
You know what I would probably do? Yeah,
I'm trying to get on top of here, but there's so much happening.
On top of it. Oh my god.
Maybe I should chose fire.
Nah, it's okay. It's pretty close to dying.
Yeah, I haven't touched it once. Finally.
There we are.
Okay, this is what I figured you were trying to do.
I was trying so badly. This is why this is exactly why
it took you like 20 seconds to get up there, and you didn't deal a single damage to the. Oh my god.
Anyway,
okay. Here we go.
That's a textbook definition of why you don't want to lose Jet because.
Well, I mean, you actually lost Jet in the perfect spot because now you can regain it in this room.
Yeah, there we go.
So this is a good demonstration of a backup. You're innovating here.
Yeah, revolutionary concept: losing Jet and then getting it back. Oh, it's fine. I knew KSS was going to troll me sometime tonight.
We're not here to see a good time, Aston. We're here to see you play the game.
Exactly.
Hey, whoa.
In a fun way, yeah.
Okay, thank you for finishing that sentence the way you did.
In a fun way. Listen, I'm just saying, like, if I were playing this game right now, I don't think I'd do good either.
Also, I'm skipping a mini boss right here.
It's different when you're playing in front of so many people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm just having fun at this point.
There is also something to that too. There's like a real freeness to just finishing out a run that you know won't PB, even when you're just playing for your own sake or like recording something.
We're not here to watch a world record run is basically what I'm saying.
Exactly.
No, for sure.
this out of the Switch.
And you know what? I feel like I'm having a better time watching this run than I would watching a high level run. Like, this is fun.
Aren't you having fun?
It's just great. I love commentating this. Anyway, I'm gonna get back on topic here. We have a Heavy Lobster autoscroller. We just have to sit through this and just watch this dialogue. Hope you guys can read this. This will be on the test later.
And hey, if you would like to fill out some paperwork, Games Done Quick is hiring. If you love creative work and have experience in planning and organizing, or in presenting as well, apply to be a prize assistant at Mainline events. That will start for this SGDQ coming up. If you are interested, go to gamesdonequick.com/jobs by May 11th to apply.
We're gonna make sure that Heavy Lobster doesn't apply by destroying him in this fight.
I was trying to lightly
Wait,
kick.
he's done.
I was trying to lightly kick the entire time. Did I get it? No, I didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't get the drop. No. Well, basically on that fade out, if you press A, like right before the room unloads, you can drop helper without going through the animation. So. Yeah, we're gonna run through the remaining of Ramke with Plasma. Because for a few upcoming boss fights, it's gonna be useful. Notably, we're gonna have Reactor, which is a very RNG heavy boss fight. We're gonna see it come up in a few rooms. And Plasma is useful for if it summons these turrets in the ground, you can destroy them really easily with Plasma. And then after Reactor, we're also gonna have this set of mini bosses that we can't skip, but are really quick to kill with Plasma. So we'll see that in the next couple of minutes. But yeah, you're going to see the RNG fest. So these turrets spawn in the room. In order to kill a reactor, you have to use these turrets, first of all. You can't just normally kill it. I should explain that too. Everything in this room is RNG, because these turrets coming down can spawn in a random location. The type of turret can be random. Where it aims isn't random. That's dependent on Kirby's position. These three turrets spawning in the ground's RNG. You got a good cannon.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
That's fine.
Did everyone get that down? I'm quizzing everyone in chat later.
There will be a quiz later.
God.
There will be a test.
Jeez, I was just doodling Kirby again.
Anyway, start for my favorite part, the all-scroller.
Yeah, here's the auto scroller. Nothing much to do here. I feel like more often than not, when you're in an auto scroller, you're just kind of avoiding lagging the game, and that's basically it. I should explain lag. I didn't explain lag. So we explained that this game was coded very horribly. Even despite this game being an SA1 game, which like added more, to put it simply, it added more power to games, let them run more code efficiently. This game's very inefficient and it lags even with that chip, which is like crazy because most games don't lag with that chip. But anyway, when text scrolls on the screen, the game lags. So you want to do nothing when text scrolls, essentially. Here we have the 3 mini bosses.
Just a little bit.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
You got 2 of them.
I was going to say, outside of that last wave, I would not have believed you if you told me there were a bunch of mini bosses there.
Yeah. It looks really clean. Here we have Meta Knight coming up. We are not going to fight fairly at all. We're going to get rid of Sword and grab Plasma again. Because Plasma is the best.
Have we even talked about how the diagonals work in Plasma yet?
No, I can explain that. Basically, when you do a full charge Plasma shot, you have these 2 diagonal sparks pop out of Kirby, the back of Kirby. And those do the exact same amount of damage as the giant ball that also shoots out of Kirby. So you can actually use those diagonal sparks in some certain sections. I know that we used it to hit a switch when going down the elevator before reactor, which I did not mention. I should have mentioned that, but yeah, those back sparks could be useful.
Yeah. So if I'm ever missing like the wrong way with the giant like plasma ball, I just usually hit the sparks.
Here is a very easy section. You just kind of wheelie away to victory off the halberd. And that's the end of Ramke. Now we have the last game in the entirety of KSS, Milky Way Wishes. This subgame is a little different from the rest, and that you get these ability statues called Copy Essence Deluxes, which permanently give you the ability that you get. So going forward, we don't have to necessarily worry about losing our entire run to, like, losing Jet, because we can just get it back instantly.
And fun fact, the reason why we go to Sky High is so we get Jet.
Is so we can get Jet first, yes. And this subgame is honestly a nice subgame to end on, because, like, at least for those who are starting out, you know, like, if you were to lose Jet in Revenge of Meta Knight, you would have to probably be reset. But for here, like, if you lose Jet here, you can just get it back. So it's nice to have more runs get completed in late game. Here we have Krakow. For some reason, the devs decided to put a candy right in front of the door. I don't know why, but they did. So we're invincible during this fight.
And I'm gonna reset.
All right, so we're gonna reset after every boss in Milky Way Wishes, because surprisingly, it saves time. Usually you would have to watch this cutscene at the end that would, like, put you in, like, this room and you'd do a little dance. But unfortunately, Kirby takes too long to dance, so we gotta skip it.
Oh boy, hot beat. Yeah, what just happened there was me as a kid just constantly on the stage.
Yeah.
This level is pretty difficult. A lot of tight corridors you have to navigate through. It can be really challenging. And thankfully, I mean, especially for this level, like, the fact that you can just get Jet back instantly is very nice, because lava is one of those things that I mentioned earlier that have, like, a higher chance of losing your ability. So, like, you won't, like, just immediately lose your run if you lose Jet here.
And because you can absolutely juggle yourself from one lava tile to another.
Yeah. Coming up, we're gonna see Camelio Arm or Gamelio Arm.
Which color is it gonna be? It's blue. Okay.
Yeah, you just kill this boss with Jet.
You. Okay. Okay, you're not the awkward spot.
This one's pretty easy. There we go. Do another reset. Next up, we have Mechai. And I don't know what else to say about it. It's just a level. You just go forward.
Yeah.
Cavios, which will be the next level, is more interesting. I have more to talk about in that level, but this one's kind of just like, you just kind of fly through some Gordos, go through a cannon, I don't know. There's not much more I can say that you can just watch.
Yeah, the only thing...
So here it is.
The only thing I can say is that it's spelled better in KSS than KSSU.
Oh yeah, because KSSU renamed everything.
Yeah, and it's dumb. What?
Yeah. For those who don't know, Kirby Super Star Ultra, the remake of this game, for some reason the localizer said, let's throw out everything we did the first time and relocalize the names for some reason. So they, like, made all the names of the planets ever so subtly different, and it's kind of weird. I think you went up to... Oh, you're getting plasma. I forgot about this.
Missed this. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go for a plasma route for Milky Way Wishes. Usually you could go for a jet-based route where you just skip this.
Yeah, Aston's going for... I would argue easier route, where you grab plasma, because trying to kill all the boss fights in Milky Way Wishes with Jet can be hard. There's a lot of hard setups to go for, especially with the final boss marks.
Yeah.
That boss fight is especially hard to do with Jet.
So instead, we just
So
wiggle the
Plasma
win.
makes it easier. Yeah, we wiggle the win. I guess I also didn't talk about plasma mashing, which is pretty funny because this game is pretty notorious for that. In order to charge plasma, you have to get 16 D-pad inputs, which means you have to press the D-pad 16 times to get that giant ball, like laser attack.
Right. It starts with like a spike, and then the middle level of charge is the kind of ring laser.
Exactly, yeah. You got it. Aston is going to go through a bunch of mini bosses here in Cavios. This level is really cool because you're just quick killing a ton of mini bosses, 4 in a row. So this stage is pretty difficult if you're first starting out.
Oh, I missed one. Okay. So this is basically the test for mini boss kills.
Yeah. Here we're also going to grab Hammer. Hammer is pretty crucial. We only really, since Aston grabbed Plasma, we're only really going to use it for battle windows because it's able to one-cycle 2 of the bosses in battle windows.
Oh, that's not my line.
Oh, we're going for Hammer. This is hard to hit. Oh, we're going for it.
Come on. No. Okay, fine.
Dang
No,
it,
it's
Bugsy.
Bugsy, please. Thank you.
There.
I feel like if you were to go for Plasma, you wouldn't... It's just... Hammer is so convenient because it, like, literally just spawns right in front of you. Which is crazy because it's one of, like, the... It's one of the best abilities for, like, damage, at least.
Yeah, but the problem with hammers in this game is that the hammer flip, which is the strongest attack, is really thin.
Oh yeah, it's got a really puny hitbox. Every hammer attack in this game is like, its hitbox is like 2 pixels or something. I don't know. It's like ridiculous. In KSSU, they buffed hammer by a lot. So if you're familiar with that game, you'd probably know that hammer flip is really good. But in this game, it's not because like the hitbox never hits anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still
It's also
strong, but not especially useful.
It's also what makes the final boss like really annoying when you do the plasma route.
Yeah. If you don't do plasma route, it's RNG based because you have to have Mark spawn close to the ground. So in order to do a hammer flip, and if he doesn't do that, then you lose time. Anyway, now we're in Aqualus. This stage is also pretty easy. I would say that Aqualus and then the next stage coming up, which is Floria, are both some of the easiest ones in Milky Way Wishes.
Yeah, they're typically like the first 2 you're supposed to do, but again, we can just go out of order.
Yeah. Technically, these are the first 2 stages you should be doing, but we skip them because we need to get Jet first. And then from there, it's kind of just like we just choose our route because it's faster based on like where we're located on the world map. So.
Also, shouts to that Knuckle Joe that I just killed there. Who?
Yeah, that Knuckle Joe has like both of the Knuckle Joes in this room have like more health than usual, so like they're pretty hard to kill.
That Knuckle Joe specifically brought me from full health to 0 in one run.
Jeez.
It could do that. All right, we have Fatty Wheel coming up. Are you going for Plasma?
I'll go for plasma.
It's up to you. I was just asking.
Well, if I get the good RNG first.
Yeah.
Okay. There.
Since this boss fight's pretty straightforward and we have Floria next, I'll explain why Aston died in one hit to Knuckle Joe during that one run. So
Yeah.
This game is pretty innovative for its time. There is a hidden value in the game called like the difficulty value. And it scales up and down based on whether or not you kill enemies or you get hit, etc. So I'm going to assume that Aston was not getting hit by anything and like killing a lot of enemies, which led him to taking a ton of damage from one Knuckle Joe, which just like brought your health to 0 instantly.
Yep.
So, but I mean, as much as I, make fun of this game for being really horribly coded, this game is really innovative.
It is
kind of changed the Kirby series.
It is very technical. As much as we kind of dunk on this game, it did a lot for the series. A lot of things they did.
This was back in the day when there weren't like obvious frameworks for how to code having something referred to, especially once you have multiple games mixed into the same game, making the mixes and the different summons work consistently throughout different game modes.
Exactly.
Sounds kind of like a nightmare to conceptually understand how to get it coded in.
Yeah, for sure. Especially the helper system too. Like all the graphics for the helpers, a lot of the graphics in this game are actually compressed because there wasn't a lot of RAM space. So that's why there's like large loading times in this game too, because just how much is compressed.
Makes sense.
Here we have Half Moon, which is notoriously like one of the hardest stages in Milky Way Wishes, and also the last stage. So everyone absolutely hates the fact that this stage exists. Because we also have battle windows at the end of it too, which is an RNG choke point at the very last stage of the game. It's like poetic in a way. The devs knew.
Yeah, it's a very cool tile set though. It always reminded me of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It always reminded me of Star Hill in SMRPG and of I have one section of Secret of Mana. I don't remember exactly what level. Someone in chat probably will remember. I think it might be the caves outside Matango.
Yeah, this level really is pretty. I do like it.
I think there's only like one area else in the game that has like this like setup. Can I get the double? Oh, I missed. Double.
You got the double, but instead of Kawasaki being the second one, it was you.
Yeah. I am the double.
You are second try mixer.
Second try mixer. I don't even remember the rest of the name.
All right, we're approaching battle windows. Basically the same as the first one, except with the exception of having the Red Dragon boss fight, which is the third boss in battle windows for Milky Wishes at least. He cannot be one-cycled under normal circumstances, so he could attack. He has to attack regardless of whether or not we get good RNG at the start. And what attack he does can vary. So we'll see what he does. Maybe 3-cycle on him.
Should be fine. I get 2 hammer flips will still kill it. I say as I proceed to mess it up anyway. Never mind.
All right, well, either way, we got good RNG both times, so you lost minimal time there.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
That was actually a decent Half Moon, to be honest.
Yeah. Red Dragon has this notorious attack called Wind, which takes like 7 seconds to finish.
It's
like a whole cutscene. Yeah, it's great. So the combo is like Red Dragon attacking first into Wind, and you're just like sitting there like, great, I lost my run. Thankfully, there are ways to minute battle windows, but that's too technical for this. I won't get into that. Here we have an autoscroller. Who'd have guessed? This is the only shmup section in this game. They went out of their way to code a whole shmup level for like a 1-minute autoscroller.
And it's also a giant pain.
Well, I wouldn't say this part's the pain. The boss fight's the pain. We got to fight Nova after this little hallway section. Now, because Aston went for Plasma, we don't need to consider this, but in high-level play at least, because you don't have Plasma and you have Jet and Hammer, you'd have to RNG minute marks to spawn on the ground. So you'd basically have to play this part perfectly if you did not have Plasma.
Yeah, isn't it like very specific of what you have to do?
Yeah. It is really hard. And also, like, there is also variance too. So at the end of this fight, you have to like watch the explosion clouds to like see what RNG number you're on. It's like really, it's horrible.
High level KSS could be a giant pain sometimes.
It's horrible. We're gonna skip these 2 turrets here because if we destroy these 2 instead, we go backwards, and we can then get these 2 going backwards, which saves time over having to go backwards the whole way around.
With this,
and now we're on to Mark.
And I'm not even going to say anything because knowing how this run has been so far.
Nah, this run's been good. I mean, listen. Overall, I think this run's been good. Yeah, especially your Milky Way Wishes. I think your Milky Way Wishes was pretty solid.
Yeah.
So, don't be hard on yourself. Let's end it off with a bang.
Sliding. Oh, well, that's fine. I think I got the fast.
Let's end it off with a slide.
I still got the fast marks pattern.
That's okay. Yeah. So basically with this fight, you want to hit marks a certain amount of times
And fine.
to get a fast pattern.
That was fun.
Yeah.
GG.
GG. That was a good run.
That was really fun to be honest.
It was fun. Listen, like
In my inside, a little gong show there, but
I enjoyed it. Like, I honestly feel like your biggest mistake was losing Jet and Revenge of Mennonite.
Yeah.
And even after that, like it was still funny trying to watch you destroy React, not a combo cannon with a yo-yo.
At least,
So
I hope I made it funny.
overall, I feel like I watched a good run. That's all I'm gonna say.
I hope you were at least entertained. But anyway, thank you all for having me.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope you guys were too.
Glitch Aston, where can the people find you?
Oh yeah, you could find me at twitch.tv/closed where I do a bunch of different Kirby. I'm actually playing Triple Lux at the moment because we have a relay coming up. That
Oh yeah,
Arrow's also
Aston loves the 3DS games.
Oh, I love the 3DS games very much. But yeah, I'm mostly focusing on Triple Lux at the moment and soon Dream Collection all challenges. So yeah, if you want to see stuff, find me there. And also follow Arrow because Arrow's awesome and does a lot of
Aw, thank you.
And also-
before we go,
Arrow hopped on literally 2 days ago to be my commentary because I procrastinated because I'm a good person.
yeah. Listen, I'll do anything for KSS. Before we go, I want to mention if you like this game and you think it's cool and you want to speedrun it, you should join the Kirby Speedrunning Discord because we'll help you get started. We have a lot of practice tools that you can use. There's a practice hack for this game, and it's really useful. Additionally, we are doing weeklies for this game every Wednesday. It doesn't matter what skill level you are. If you never played this game in your life and you want to speedrun it and like race it with 0 experience, then you can join us because we have people from all skill levels playing in our weeklies every Wednesday. So you should join the Kirby Speedrunning Discord and check it out.
Very cool. Yeah, no, a welcoming community and some races to get you motivated is a great way to get into any game. I had a friend who did that with Super Mario Brothers 3 some time ago and said they had a really great time doing it.
Exactly. I love races.
Yeah, really fun.
But yeah, thank you both for being on and for showing off Kirby Super Star and for having a good time joshing around with each other and showing what fun a speedrun can be too. So yeah,
It was great commentating.
that's going to be all for Kirby Superstar, but stay tuned. We're going to have a short break first, but when we come back, there's going to be Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Kong Quest with Void. Okay, welcome back to Out of the Box on the GDQ Hotfix. It's time for the last run of our 16-bit showcase for the evening. The run has had another theme in case you haven't seen. I happen to have had a shirt for every show this evening, so I did a couple of costume changes, and I'm most excited for this one. This is going to be a brand new or still being developed category of Donkey Kong Country 2 called No Major Glitches. So Void, let's do it.
All right. What's up, gamers? Rolling in. My name is Void. I'm usually the Donkey Kong shaman around these parts. So, yeah, hello and welcome. Happy to have everyone in the chat room here tonight, ready to witness a category, yeah, like T said, in development. Like basically, as of a few days ago, we decided as a community to come together and basically make this a category. Considering that Any Percent has seen a lot of new developments recently, with some really difficult wrong warps that are slowly but surely becoming the norm. And so, No Major Glitches really fits the theme of tonight's event, Out of the Box. So you can basically just pick up your version of Donkey Kong Country 2, either like on Super Nintendo, on VC, on Nintendo Switch Online, like any version you want. pick that version up, fire it up, and just play that category from start to finish. And it's going to be really easy to pick up, not too difficult in terms of glitches and huge skips to do. And yeah, I'm really excited to showcase that one to you guys tonight. So the rule set is still being determined. We're currently going to go, like the no major glitches rule set, that is. We're currently going to go with the one that is currently being shown the most support in the DKC Discord. And yeah, let's just get it started in 3, 2, 1, Smurf.
Good luck, gamer.
Thank you. So, in case you guys are not familiar with Donkey Kong Country 2 as a whole, the first 2 worlds, each level of those first 2 worlds has an intended warp barrel. So that's obviously the fastest way to get through those levels. So we are gonna take those. These are not major glitches, as you can expect. These are completely intended. Main Brace Mayhem is the level where you would normally see your first wrong warp in the 80% run, but we're just gonna take the regular warp. It is a little bit slower, maybe like 3 or 4 seconds, but definitely avoids a lot of resets and avoids a lot of pain. So yeah, a lot of it is just going to be navigating to those warp barrels as quickly as possible. The first boss of World 1 is also the biggest point of RNG in the run, so it is a nice thing about DKC2 to have such a huge RNG point that early into the run. This coming up is Lockjaw's Locker. All right, very nice. I was able to get this. So this jump is actually tighter than it looks. You don't want to hit any walls as you come down, otherwise it's just going to stop your speed completely. And you do save a few seconds going for that jump and nailing it. Right there, what I just did is called a goal swap. So if you get something called airborne state in this game, airborne state can be achieved in a multitude of ways, but the easiest way to get airborne state is through a barrel. When you come out of a barrel, it can be either a bonus barrel or a warp barrel in this instance, and you end up swapping your Kongs over the target. It's gonna essentially like put you a little above ground, which means that you're gonna right afterwards land on the target and thus triggering the end. And it's gonna be a little faster and also optimizes your Kong routing throughout the run. And it's used very heavily in the first 2 worlds. So right here, like mentioned earlier, Crow is our biggest instance of RNG. I've already got 1 fake. And 1 fake it is. All right, that's pretty good.
Very nice. I was watching as soon as this fight started. I'm like, okay, where's the RNG element? And then I saw the fake egg. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, that's it. And the fun fact about this is that depending on when you get the fake egg during the Crow fight, it can be either like a fast fake or a slow fake.
Oh, jeez. Of course.
Yep.
We
so
love a sub pattern.
Yeah, exactly. So this stage would also have the wrong warp normally, but I was a little too far to the left for the goal swap, but that's okay. So yeah, this stage normally would also have a wrong warp, but we're gonna forego that. So I was able to do what we call the 2-1 jump to save a little bit of time, so that's nice. Here I'm gonna do what we call a team throw super jump. Not a major glitch, by the way. So what I ended up doing with that team throw super jump is gain a lot of extra height by essentially acquiring a double jump or a second jump in the middle of my first jump. So I jumped, then my Kong came back to me, so it could, so I could get like into the team up animation again, and then I was able to get another jump off that. And by doing so, you can load up the warp barrels sooner than intended, because the game expects you to get into that warp barrel from above.
Hey, lots of games have double jumps these days. What's one more?
Exactly, yeah. Oh, and trust me, like, this is not the only double jump you're gonna see this run. So the next couple levels, fairly straightforward. It's really gonna be just get to the warp barrel as quickly as possible. Once again, no major glitches to be seen so far.
No, but lots of love to be seen in the chat for Void and for DKC too. And hey, if you love watching speedruns, consider subscribing to the channel to get access to emotes, have ad-free viewing, and chat with other subscribers during the replays that happen after these shows. And know that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix.
Yeah, any primers in the chat room? All right, so we got our second boss, Cleaver. So Cleaver also has a little bit of RNG to him. It's not that bad though. These cannonballs, okay, that was a decent spawn. These cannonballs can spawn like wherever on those small platforms. That was not that great of a spawn. So like the further, either like when you're on the left, the further left the cannonball is, the worse that is really, because you have to like cover a larger distance before grabbing the cannonball. Okay, nice. So this is also not a major glitch. What I did is called Lava Fly. You end up saving about 4 seconds by cutting through a back and forth on the second phase of this fight. This is basically the one piece of movement that I always point to. Flying Diddy, by the way. This is the one piece of movement that I always point towards when it comes to playing this game. As far as risk versus reward goes, like if you fail Lava Fly, which is possible, there are consistent setups to always get Lava Fly, but it is possible to fail that trick and just fall in the lava and die. And when that happens, you lose close to a minute. So 4 seconds versus a minute, you know. Not necessarily the best trade deal in the history of trade deals, but that so it goes when DKC2 is being played.
Yeah, such is the nature of optimizing games.
Exactly. Yep.
Some tricks you can try 5 times and you still come out ahead. Some tricks you lose a whole minute.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't have it any other way though. Alright, so we finally get rid of Rambi, worst animal buddy in the video game, by the way, heck Rambi, and now we can actually go back to doing some really sweet platforming. Barrel Bayou, not too much happening in this stage, except for this coming up, so this we call Swamp Fly. This is a deboost that you end up getting more height than you're supposed to using the aforementioned airborne states that I talked about earlier this run. Essentially, that team throw that I did into the barrel was what stored the airborne state, and then taking damage allows me to get a lot more height than normal. And now we're into Glimmer's Galleon. Glimmer's Galleon, one of the more difficult levels to optimize. It's not like the hardest level overall, as in like you're not at risk of dying really in that stage, but you can definitely lose a lot of time. The best players of this game will make sure to avoid all the corners and also keep as much momentum as possible while cutting those, and that ends up adding up to seconds over the course of this level.
I will say kind of a mild flashing lights warning for this and any other dark water stages. Every couple of times that lantern turns around, we get a quick flash.
Yeah, that's like the annoying thing about this stage on the SNES version. So like on VC, on VC or on NSO, I'm pretty sure they removed that white frame of the blinding light, which is a good fix in my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah, the same is actually true of our previous run, Kirby Super Star, as well. That definitely had some flashing in the original version. All right, if you did need to look away, that level is over now, so you are clear to return to viewing your previously scheduled Void content.
Yeah, welcome back to Void.tv.
Hey,
so yeah, now
we're...
Yeah, I know, right? So this is a Crockett Clamor. Crockett Clamor, in any percent, you would do a wrong warp. You would do like a pretty specific wrong warp, actually. You would use the cutlass coming up around halfway to perform the wrong warp. This cutlass right here. But because we're doing no major glitches, we're going to be playing the rest of this level the intended way, which arguably makes for an extremely difficult level. Like before the wrong warp became a thing, like Crockett Clamor was easily like the skill check of the run, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that. There's a very sort of rhythm to what you're doing here, and those all look like scary jumps. I'm sure they're there's a learning curve, but
oh yeah, they are. Like every single time you land on one of those croc heads, there's like a little boop that happens, like a little boop on the animation of the croc head. Like that can definitely throw your timing off because you cannot like really input a roll right after landing. You have to like wait a tiny bit longer to like really like make yourself comfortable with the roll and really ensure that you're gonna nail it. Like this afternoon, I was doing a couple runs of this and I ended up getting completely exposed by one of those croc heads, in fact.
And this is Radley. The developers of this game loved Radley. They loved Radley so much that they gave the vertical movement animal buddy a very horizontal stage.
Yeah, that level sucks, turns out. Very good song, you know, and I'm a fan of Radley. Radley is my favorite animal buddy in this game. It is not because of this level, but I am a fan of Radley nonetheless. A little bit of sketchy stuff that happened right there, but that's okay. We recovered. I'll definitely be delving into the Radley tech more later on this run when we get to World 6. But just know that there's like a big reason why Radley is my favorite animal buddy. Okay, so Slime Climb is probably the level that has like seen the biggest changes when it comes to playing this category, because at any percent you would do what we call a water swap glitch, which ends up giving us a really big damage boost after we swap and we take damage, and then we can get up there and perform a wrong guard, but we cannot do any of that in this category. So you're gonna be able to see a lot of really spicy rope climbing, a lot of really nice platforming. Definitely like a level that has seen a pretty insane glow up compared to any percent as far as like movement is concerned. So I'm just gonna come over here. 1, 2, 3. And then here I'm gonna perform another team throw super jump to be able to get to the end of the level quicker. And very nice. Surprise DK coin right there. We don't need a DK coin in this category, but you know. Shouts to money, by the way. Okay, so Bramble Blast. Bramble Blast. The major piece of tech in this stage is regarding those barrels. Every single time you see me shoot out of a barrel, without the barrel changing directions, that's a 3-frame window. That's what we call a quick shot. And in this section coming up, there will be quite a few quick shots. Right there, 2 quick ones in a row. Another one right there. Good, good. Doing good so far. In any percent, there would be a trick later on. We call that trick vine clip, but that's clearly pretty major. You end up clipping like straight through one of those bramble walls. So instead, we're gonna do what we call maze skip, which ends up skipping the portion of the level, the final portion of the level that we call the Maze of Shame. Just do a team throw right there, deboost on the brambles, and that puts us in that barrel.
That's what you normally have to play when you don't get the vine skip, right?
Yeah, pretty much. There are like backups to not getting vine clip, but if you end up messing up vine clip and then afterwards you end up losing a Kong trying to go to get vine clip, then you cannot do the maze skip that I just performed, because you do need both your Kongs to team throw into the bramble and take the deboost. So yeah, if you only have one Kong, then you have to do Maze of Shame, and Maze of Shame is kind of like a bit of another maybe not like a skill check, but like normally like new runners of this game 6. Okay, cool. Normally new runners of this game don't know how to do the Maze of Shame because they like are not familiar with like what the level is like if you don't get vine clip or if you don't get maze skip. So like they end up getting lost in the sauce sometimes as a result.
Oh, I've watched dozens of runs. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
nobody ever does this part of the stage.
Exactly. My number one tip, though, if you guys ever end up stuck in the Maze of Shame, just follow the bananas. Use that noggin of yours and follow the bananas. And obviously, like, don't take the same path twice.
It's almost like the levels were designed to help you succeed. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Interesting if true.
Interesting design choice, eh? But yeah, this is Cudgel. Probably the most boring fight in the run. He's dead on this hit. There you go. Get out of here.
We had a reminiscing from the chat. The boss is smaller than they remember. But yeah, I get it. You know, it's definitely built, made to look very intimidating. So I could see remembering him as bigger than this.
Yeah, for sure. Cudgel has skipped leg day, turns out. Okay, so Hornet Hole. This is where the difficulty really ramps up. World 4 is very tough and very difficult to optimize. Those honey levels are among the hardest levels to optimize in the entire run. Not doing too bad so far. Gonna go up here, grab Squitter. Squitter, the spider, one of the best animal buddies in the game. And that's gonna help us navigate through the rest of this level pretty safely. Even though I definitely had some issues with doing this section earlier today, because I'm not used to doing Squitter in this level. Normally you would do a trick that we call Scrolly Scroll that the jury is still out on regarding whether it should be allowed in a no major glitches category. To me, it's pretty major. The time save is not very massive for Scrolly Scroll, but it's pretty game breaking and ends up like it involves basically unlocking the camera, and then you end up just getting pushed forward into the level. So yeah, like I said though, jury is still out on there, so come back next week and you'll be able to have a pretty clear rule set on what no major glitches will be for this game. I'm actually like trying my hardest to sell you guys on this new DKC2 category, so like I really hope that at least one person ends up picking this up after watching this run.
Yeah, absolutely. Heck, it might just be me.
Hey, there you go.
The idea of having an approachable, you know, this, like I tend to play games that are like newer, games that are still developing their tech and their rule sets, because I find that's a really fun place to get in and kind of free form to figure things out. The idea of coming into a really developed run has always been a little intimidating, but with a new category with new rule sets and that's specifically meant to be more accessible, that is actually really appealing to me.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, like the whole idea behind this category, like this category has kind of been in the talks for like many years, but because of the recent developments that happened regarding wrong warps in any percent, like basically 2 new wrong warps came about all of a sudden, and one of them is like extremely difficult. Like the number of people who have been able to pull that wrong warp out in an actual run are like they can be counted on like one hand, like
Gotcha.
less than one hand even. So yeah, you just to like put that into perspective. And yeah, we figured that like right now was the best time to really bring back the conversation of having a category that has no major glitches in it. And yeah, like just having that, and like having that one being like super accessible as a result. Like we're really hoping that it's going to drive a lot of new players to pick up DKC2. Of course, you know, if you're a new player of DKC2, you're going to have to play hard levels. This is one of them, Bramble Scramble. You're definitely going to have to learn how to maneuver your parrot, be able to shoot those enemies like ahead of time so you can maximize your time saves. Right there, I'm gonna do again, not a glitch. This is called the signpost skip. If you just like fly high enough, the signpost ends up despawning. So you know you have to take damage, obviously, to get high enough. But if you end up taking damage and then afterwards you just like keep flying against the bramble, you can end up just skipping the signpost and keeping squawks past the sign, and that ends up saving like a good chunk of time. Final section coming up right here. A little bit of squeeze. Nice. That was very good.
Yeah, it absolutely was. I know what I said a minute or two ago, but now having watched you run that level like it was a race course, I don't think I'm going to start trying for that level of execution.
Oh yeah, like I mean, I'm obviously showcasing like really high level movement because I've been playing this game forever at this point. But like, as far as like really obnoxious and difficult to pick up glitches that may or may not save a lot of time, like in the grand scheme of things. Like this category doesn't have any of that. Like this category is very heavily based on moving your Kong and memorizing the levels and just like minimizing your time losses. So like just learning where to go, how to move, where the enemies are, how to avoid them, how to really like maybe roll through them to gain speed in some places. Like this is the category for that. So yeah.
It's the classic, and some people say it affectionately, some people say it pejoratively, but classic play the game good version of a speedrun with a couple of little tricks like the dual throw and the deboost thrown in. I feel like those are things that a player could come up with just playing casually. It's like, oh, if I do this and like hit an enemy in this way, I get an extra jump. That's neat.
Yeah, yep, exactly. And like the double jump overall will like serve you like throughout not only like this category but like other categories as well. Like it's just like a really nice piece of movement tech to know how to perform.
Nice.
All right, so Mudhole Marsh, another very difficult level. One might say like even harder than that previous swamp level that I mentioned was really hard. Crockett Climber, that one was in the previous world. But Mudhole really like goes ahead and like multiplies those really scary looking gaps that you can fall in. All right, I should not have gone for that roll, but I went for it because I'm a baller. And a chat.
Yeah, ending up below the waterline is only mildly terrifying.
Yep.
If it were anyone but Void, I would have actually been nervous.
So yeah, right there, that bonus cannon that I just passed. Normally, you would use that one for a wrong warp, but we're not going to do that. Instead, we're just going to play the end of the level as intended. Well, you know, quote unquote intended, of course. Really maximizing my movement potential right there. Doing a little bit of a wiggle left-right to despawn the projectile that the cannon shot so that I can land on the target quicker. And that was it. That was Mudhole. That actually went quite well. It was a bit of a scary spot around the middle because I was hesitating with my movement, but we ended up doing it just fine. So right there, gonna do another big boy or team throw super jump to get to that hook. Also not a major glitch. And even if it were, the backup to still get to that section is actually like pretty straightforward and really not that difficult. You just have to like do a roll jump off of a ledge and it would like actually get you to that section relatively easily. So now we're obviously in the bad part of Rambi Rumble. We have to play as Rambi. Okay, very nice. Was able to do a little bit of a double jump there. Tricked the camera into thinking that I was on the lower level. Saves a little bit of time. And the rest of the stage is pretty much just dash and jump. Another double jump right there. And we're out. Okay, so Le King of the Zing. One of the probably trickiest boss fights in the run. The hitbox to connect your projectiles with is actually pretty small. His movement is consistent throughout, though. There's no RNG with this pattern, so you can actually like plan ahead. But obviously, like you definitely gotta pay attention to like his hitbox and like you know being able to actually shoot your projectiles, which I was not able to do right there. That's okay. Alright, final hit. And we're out. Good stuff.
Very nice. Who would have known that inside the bee was more bees?
Yeah. You know, like he's a big bee, and then he becomes a small bee with other small bees.
So there's some sort of exchange rate. One large bee is worth like 7 small bees.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll keep that in mind for next time.
Yep. Okay, so
Ghost ropes.
Yep. Ghostly Grove, a classic amongst DKC2 speedrunners. Definitely like not only a fan favorite, but a runner favorite. The movement is just really fluid. The rolls are very feel good to nail. It's just like a nice level overall, like good mood, good gimmick. Just like a fan favorite overall. Big fan of Ghostly Grove, and also like it has one of the best songs in the game, Forest Interlude. A little bit of a back wiggle right there. There are faster strats. Yep. There are faster strats to get past, not necessarily get past the row, but like just get under that cloak that throws boxes at you. I went for like the pretty standard stuff. There are faster ways, there are safer ways, but that's just the way I'm used to. And I'm glad I ended up not getting punished, because it can be like a little spooky going for any like kind of fast strats with only one Kong. But like I said earlier, I'm a baller and a Chad, so you gotta do what you gotta do.
I've heard this about you, so it's good to see that the rumors are true.
The rumors are indeed true. So this stage, Haunted Hall, a very unique level, very fun and interesting level overall. Actually, like always liked the gimmick in this stage. It's not like the most engaging level in the speedrun, even though like it is very difficult to optimize. Not in like the same way as like a standard level would be though. Like optimizing this level is all about like jumping in some spots, or like, you know, the height of like which like where you jump. Like, you know, if you do like a small jump in that spot or like a big jump in that spot, like you end up either like saving or losing time. Like it's a very peculiar level
after a fashion. It's kind of like it's a level that has like the intended route is very much built right in. It's signposted with the plus barrels all the way along.
Yep.
So figuring out if there's a way to do it even just a little bit better than that. And, you know, as we've seen in some sections, you can clearly just hit the minus barrels and it won't matter like that.
Like that, yeah, those last two. All right. And now on to Gusty Glade. Gusty Glade is the first level of 2 in this game that have the wind gimmick in it. This level also in 90% has probably the hardest wrong warp in my opinion in the entire game. It only saves like 5 seconds, but without the wrong warp, this level is super sick to play. Like another level that is very rewarding when it comes to just like rolling through enemies and mastering moving your Kong, really maximizing your time saves. Like right there. Oh, never mind. I jinxed it. But you can roll off of that ledge without grabbing that DK barrel, for example. And it's actually like a little tight, but not as tight as it might look. It doesn't save too much, but it feels very good to get. So this is just another example. The team throwing that barrel, once again, is to set up the airborne state, the aforementioned airborne state, which I'm gonna use to... Never mind. I was gonna do a goal swap right there, but I ended up going for a goal swap a little too early, so my input got eaten, which is okay. Not that big of a time loss. So Parachute Panic, this one, definitely a treat to watch as a viewer. So the gimmick is obviously to grab those those parrots, and just like have them help you with your descent. But this is slow, so we can just dismount the parrots as we grab them and just know where to go because the level is memorized. Just do a little roll right there, jump off from that little crevice, dismount, glide, and deboost right there, which gives us a headbutt, which allows us to just clear the final section safe and soundly. So that was actually pretty good. And now we follow up a very tough level with another very tough level. This one probably the scariest level in the run overall, because we're gonna be turning into Squitter very shortly, and Webwoods just has a ton of huge gaps that we're gonna have to cross using the spider's gimmick and mechanics. And this is another level that has seen a recent wrong warp in. That one saves about 20 seconds if you perform it well. But yeah, we're not going to do that. It can be argued whether doing webwoods optimally using... Oh, all right, well... Scratch that. I was about to say, like, it can be argued whether doing webwoods the way I'm doing versus doing the wrong warp is harder. That can definitely happen, you know, like I definitely exhibit A of why webwoods is difficult. I just walked up
as it turns out, they're both hard.
Turns out it's hard. Yep. Turns out this stage is hard. I think that was my first death this run too. Like, no shame in dying to webwoods, really. And like, it was right after halfway. That's really not that bad. So the final section coming up. Little D-boost. You have a bit of a window after you take a D-boost with Squitter to input a jump, and we make use of that in a couple spots throughout this level. All right, so that was not too bad, aside from that death. Definitely gonna take that.
Hey, well, you were talking about what's coming up. Do we have a quick moment for an announcement about an upcoming GDQ event?
Oh yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
Awesome. I just wanted to let everyone know that Black in a Flash is returning with Juneteenth from June 20th to 22nd, and their submissions are currently open until April 20th. To learn more about how to join the Black in a Flash community and to submit your runs, you can go to gdq.gg/BAF. Well, I will be very curious to see if any Donkey Kong or DKC runs end up in that. I know we have some folks in that community who do run, including the likes of Ryan Ford. So,
yeah, shouts to Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan was in chat earlier. May still be around.
Mm-hmm. Ryan is as I like to call him, kind of a marathon warrior. He likes offering runs to marathons and to GDQ events overall.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The kind of person who just has a treasure chest full of runs. It's like, all right, which 5 do I want to submit today?
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
3 categories of each, 15 total. Yeah, I can fill those. Sure, this is what I feel like submitting today.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Arctic Abyss. Arctic Abyss is kind of another stage that can be argued, like whether it is harder to do the normal way or if it's harder to perform the Arctic Zip, which is another big skip in that level. It saves about 15 seconds. You don't turn into the fish if you go for Arctic Zip. But yeah, obviously, pretty major glitch to zip across the ceiling and right onto the goalpost, because the goalpost that I'm about to get to is basically right above the entrance. So that's what makes Arctic Zip possible. And that trick has been like kind of the holy grail of DKC2 speedruns for the longest time, up until I want to say like April or May of 2020. So yeah. It is a reality now. Say Windy Well, the second level of the run with the wind gimmick. This one is actually a little like kind of akin to Glimmer's Galleon, when I mentioned earlier that like you're not really at risk of dying in that stage, but it is very difficult to optimize. In fact, I would go as far as to say like through the entirety of World 6 is probably my weakest level, as far as saving time and really maximizing your time saves in Go.
Sure. Yeah, I think a lot of people, especially when they see showcases like this, no resets where the runner is just executing well, think that games are all about the skill ceiling. And in a fashion, that's an important part of a run. But like this category is intended to show, getting in on a ground floor that is very accessible is also a big part of a speed run.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the most satisfying things to me in speed running is just getting those first couple of runs in the book, like seeing, minus 3 minutes on my second run over my first, because I understand that level now. And
yeah, the second run is so satisfying because of that. Just like watching you get big goals and whatnot.
Yep, and then you get that skill plateau because you've like started doing ILs, learning tricks, and then just boom, 12, 15 runs in, another big gold in a single level. It's like, wow, I didn't know I had that in me.
Yep, exactly. Definitely one of the most fun and satisfying things about speedrunning. This, however, is the least fun part about speedrunning, and I would say maybe like of this category overall. So Castle Crush is the longest auto-scroller in the run. It's like a 4.5 minute long auto-scroller. In any percent, there are not one but two different ways of just blasting through that level quickly and saving loads of time. Like, in fact, like, I think the wrong warp in the stage takes maybe like 22, 23 seconds to perform from like level entry. So yeah, like but we can do that because major glitch, right? So instead we're just gonna be chilling here, and you know, it is time. We have time to read some donations if there are any donations.
No, absolutely. The chat donates lots of love and affection to David Wise, to DKC2, and to Void.
Yeah, there you go.
No,
Type
I'm
1
glad
in the chat if you enjoyed this run.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you mentioned it because while I had some of the other things that I mentioned on an episode 1, this was you running this a month or two ago and describing how easy the Castle Crush skips could be was actually one of the things that I described to Hotfix management as like, hey, these are these things that look really intimidating, but they're actually cool and easy when I was selling the pitch for this show. So appreciate having you on and being able to talk about it with you like that, even if we're actually getting to show off a different way of doing the level. So very cool.
But like, yeah, just to like let you guys in on like what T is saying. The Castle Crush, what we call there's the wrong one that I mentioned, which is like the fastest way of going through the stage in any percent. But there's another way which used to be the fastest way, and we call it the Castle Crush Gold Summon. And I've literally taught someone through Twitch chat how to do the Castle Crush Gold Summon. So like, it is unbelievably easy for how much time it saves, and it saves almost 3 minutes. Like 3 minutes out of this 4.5 minute long auto scroller is massive.
Yeah, if you're familiar with speedrunning kind of tricks generally as far as classes of runs go, this is one, or that one is one that's more common in retro games, where what you do is you end up grabbing items in such a way that actually you kind of unload the barrel as you're holding it, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. What you do is you trick the game into thinking you're holding an object other than something you should actually be able to hold. And then by manipulating your position and the enemies you attack, you end up loading the target for the end of the stage.
Yep. That's actually a pretty good description of the trick, yeah. And a lot of wrong warps, I haven't really like touched up on how wrong warps work, since I'm not doing any wrong warps. I'm mentioning like that, you know, we're supposed to be doing wrong warps and like this and that level, but like I haven't really touched up on like how wrong warps actually work. But that kind of is how wrong warps do work. Like, you do create invisible objects using enemies and ID manipulation, and if you end up using those invisible objects to move objects around that have the same ID as the idea that you ended up creating the object with, then that ends up really creating fireworks. And that's how we ended up with the wrong warps. And we're finally out of Castle Crush. Thank you for donating, everyone.
All of our incentives have currently been met, so stay tuned for more fantastic speedrunning content on the GDQ Hotfix.
Heck yeah. So Clapper's Cavern, kind of a, you know, more chill, more laid back level in World 6. Not as difficult as what we had to go through, not as difficult as what's coming. It's kind of like maybe like the break point of World 6.
A little bit of an interlude.
Exactly, yeah. intermission.
And hey, if you need an intermission at any point during Hotfix shows, don't forget that you can go back and watch shows, including this one, or events like Back to Black and Frost Fatales, by going to youtube.com/gamesdonequick and checking out the VODs. They do tend to get uploaded within, like a few days to a week, or even sooner for some of the weekend events and the like. Like, I know the recent Trans Day of Visibility, those videos were up within like 48 hours, so... The team does really great work making sure those VODs are available for you to watch anytime.
Yeah, shouts to the whole Hotfix team doing great work and providing great content, like basically daily to the gamers.
Yeah, we got our 1 day of rest on Thursday, but every other day it's speedrunning time.
Hell yeah. So right there, I'm actually going hard on the climb.
A little bit.
Yep. Training Chamber is another level. This would be normally the level where you would do your last wrong warp. But instead you end up just playing through the level. And it's actually like a really intense level. Like, as you saw, like the rope climbing gets really difficult, and it's another like one of those levels that can be pretty tough to optimize because of said rope climbing, but it's also like super fun to pull off once you get to a certain level. I mentioned earlier the Ratley tech and the reason why Ratley is my favorite animal buddy. This level, Toxic Tower, is the whole reason why Ratley is the GOAT. Ratley has two ways of actually moving quicker than intended. We have the shortcut double jumps and the true double jumps, and that ends up saving a ton of time. Yeah, that was actually like a pretty decent snake section. Just basically like cutting off the animation of, Ratley charging his jump, and instead just like going right up and making like quick work of that ascent. This squawk section, also nothing to scoff at. Very tough to optimize and to dodge all the enemies and making sure that you don't get owned. Whew. All right, nice. And a little bit of Squitter to, consolation prize.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
that
actually
was
went
a
quite
little
well.
bit of Squitter. You're not wrong.
Yep. Squitter actually does get the bonus, so he has content of his own. He has a bit more of a showcase in 1 or 2% than he does in other categories for Toxic Tower, but yeah,
right.
Overall, he's not the main star of the stage. It actually went really well. All right, one more stage, Speech of Sprint. So right here, I'm gonna go for the jump. Very tricky. I jinxed it. Yeah, I jumped a little bit too early, but yeah, you can essentially like squeeze in a jump in between the bramble and the cloak without taking damage. There we go, like this. This is another like very minor like time save, but I always go for it, and I've been doing it for so long. And it's actually like kind of interesting that I ended up dying to it, because I don't even remember the last time I died to it. Also, I perform what we call race skip. Also not a major glitch. You just fly over Screech and the race just doesn't trigger. Which definitely relieves a lot of stress if you have never played this game casually, or if you like want to replay this game casually. Just like fly over Screech, and then you can like take your time for the rest of the level instead of like being pressured to actually winning the race,
I mean, granted, you're clearing this level so fast that it's not like having to do the race normally would have made a difference, but...
No, exactly. The only thing you're really missing out on when you speedrun this game and you skip the race trigger is the music. It's actually quite a bop. And now we're on K. Rool. K. Rool, kind of a glorified cutscene. Nothing different from fighting K. Rool across categories. You just wait for his attack. Then you wait for him to use his blunderbuss to suck you in. And then you throw the cannonball and he blows up. And then you want to do that 9 times. 3 cycles of 3 hits. This actually cycle right there is the only point of RNG in this fight, and it's extremely minor. You hardly lose any time from like getting the good cannonball being on the left than on the right. There's another actually upside of picking this game up. The RNG is very minimal. Like I mentioned earlier, like Crow is the biggest instance of RNG and he's the first boss. Cleaver has some RNG, but like the delta between the worst and the best scenario is maybe like a couple seconds. The second Crow fight also has a bit of RNG. The delta is maybe like, I don't know, like 5 seconds, depending on like the barrel spawns that you get. It's really not that bad. And then there's that, which is like basically insignificant. So like this game really doesn't have a ton of luck. So it's another like really good incentive to pick this game up. Like you're really rewarded for how good you play and how much practice you put in.
Yeah, that is very cool. You know, that is another one of those things that you tend to hear people talk unfavorably about games that they otherwise really enjoy just because of it's like, oh yeah, no, the run was going great. Like my sum of best when I had great RNG is like 3 minutes below anything that, you know, so this isn't the game that's going to end up running like that when you have your splits up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, as you finish up here, Void, any shout-outs, anything you'd like the people to know about?
Yeah, I mean, shouts to the entire DKC community, shouts to my community. I see you guys. Y'all are gamers, y'all are troopers. Shouts to just everyone in chat. If you're not following me on Twitch, please follow me on Twitch. Would love to have you around. I do stream basically every afternoon from Monday to Friday. Lots of Donkey Kong content, lots of just like retro gaming content overall. I have big plans for the next month of like, you know, basically an entire month of like casual games that I may or may not have played. So yeah, be sure to tune in for that. And of course, like, you know, the Donkey Kong speedruns are always a staple of the Void.tv stream. Time's coming up, by the way. And time. And yeah, let me just finish my shoutouts real quick. Shoutouts to Games Done Quick for having me once again. Always a pleasure to perform in front of the Games Done Quick audience. Thank you, T, for hosting. Thank you, Richard, for just doing the behind the work scenes. And yeah, I didn't mention, shoutouts to the entire DKC community. We're still cooking up the rule set for this category. But be sure to know that by next week, like this is going to be finalized and will be like a main category on the leaderboard. So like, if you want to like come in and just start running this game and pick up like a category where like you won't be bothered by really difficult wrong warps, like this is gonna be the category for you. And yeah, thank you for watching. Appreciate all of you. Once again, follow me on Twitch. Subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on Blue Sky as well. Shouts to Blue Sky. And keep on rolling deep. And I think that's pretty much, that pretty much covers it. Yeah.
All right. I appreciate you, gamers. Thank you so much for that showcase of the No Major Glitches category.
Oh, by the way, what's the final time?
Yeah, I was about to tell you. The No Major Glitches category showcased in 46 minutes and 31 seconds.
Hey, guess what? That's a PB.
Nice.
Nice.
Kind of a de facto record, at least until there's a rule set in place.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I did a few runs of this afternoon to like really like get the rule set ingrained in muscle memory and just like, you know, cover a few things that may or may not show in other categories. And the best run I was able to pull off this afternoon was 46:52, and that was with like a couple deaths. And you know, this run, now it's this one, 46:31, also with a couple deaths. From what I've seen and determined, like 45 is definitely possible. I don't know if I'll go for it. At least like I'll probably wait until like I mentioned earlier, the rule set is finalized, which should be roughly at the start of next week. So, stay tuned for that. But
everyone who's interested, get over to the SRC boards, find your way into the DKC Discord. And
yeah, actually, can I post a link in chat?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so there you go. So the best resource for speedrunning, not just, definitely for speedrunning DKC, but like in my opinion, like I've been around like the speedrunning community for like over a decade at this point, and like the DKC speedrun wiki is, in my opinion, like the best speedrun resource I've ever put hands on. So that's definitely like the starting point if you're interested in DKC speedruns. From there, you will find the link to our public Discord. We would like to have you in the Discord if you're interested in running DKC. And just like a ton of really useful information, strats, videos on that wiki. Like it's very clear, very well laid out, and just like a really awesome piece of resource to pick up speedrunning in general. So start with that, and hope to see you in the community very soon.
All right, I appreciate you, gamer. Thanks so much again for showing off that brand new category of Donkey Kong Country 2. That's going to be all for Out of the Box this evening, but stick around. If you like new games, Creature Corner coming up next is going to feature all runs of games from the last 12 months. That's going to be a ton of fun, and it's coming right